voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117, and you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
Yo, what is going on, people?
The disrespect.
We are live, and it is Thursday. It is time for the next podcast. Shout out to the chat. What is up, Casket? Yo, I swear he is on a string of being here first, man. He has hit a string. I don't know how many weeks in a row he has done it, but he is constantly the first in line. He gets the best seat in the auditorium, ready to go. Shout out to you, brother. What is up, Sonic? Hey, yo, Chipmunk, what is going on, bro? What is up, everybody in the chat? We have an awesome show planned. When it comes to news, there is more than enough to talk about. I do want to say real quick, shout out to everybody who stopped by the spoiler cast last night, or yesterday. Basically yesterday. Yeah, we did it earlier. Yesterday, when it came to Halo Infinite, I feel it's really hard when a big game comes out, and for the people that go out there and they hammer it home, they get into the game sucks them in, and they play until the end and beat the game, and then you want to share what your experience was, and especially with story-driven games, you want to share what happened, and you want to hear what other people thought. And like where you think the story is going and stuff like that. And, with beating the game, kind of like, I guess you could say fairly early, a lot of people, they will shush you. As soon as you're like, yo, did you play this? No, don't tell me. No, I'm still playing. I'm only here. Don't say anything. And Pred was talking in the DM, and, it's a great place, to do something like that. Have a great place for people who beat the game to be able to come and talk about stuff. Because I think that's part of the gaming experience. Like, when you beat a game that has a story, and with Halo Infinite, the story is going to keep going. All right? And to kind of like theorize where they might be going next and what's going to happen, that's part of the fun. So shout out to everybody that hung out with the spoiler cast last night. I had a lot of fun, talking with K Mega, talking with Pred, and kind of getting the theories out there. And the cool thing was, if you haven't checked it out, the cool thing was, me and K Mega, when it came to theories, are really not that far apart, man. And that put a smile on my face. To hear somebody use the P word, and you got to check it out if you want to know what the P word is, but the P word, when it comes to like future enemies that might be on their way when they come out with more content for the story, it really put a smile on my face. But guys, we got to get into the introductions. We got to get into these topics. So I am going to start. Let me start with the man who was here first. Coming from the West Coast, and almost had a disastrous situation where, for some rhyme or reason, his Xbox wouldn't turn on. But I believe it's good now. It is Dark.Optimus. Dark, what's going on, bro?
What's up, man? Scared the shit out of me, though. I was like, fuck, man, I just bought this damn thing. I was like, dude, I was going to call up Microsoft and I was going to be like, hey, listen, what do I need to do here? Because we need to get this fixed. Because I need to finish Halo.
Listen, I know where Phil works, and I will go there.
I will drive up. I'm not that far. I mean, it's like, it may take me a day, but I will get there. No, man, but yeah, I'm happy to be here, dude. It's weird because we don't, we're short staffed today, so
Yeah.
but
Possibly a couple
it'll be a
people.
fun show.
Possibly a couple people.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Pred said something about he might be able to show up. We don't know yet, so
Yeah, he said
we'll
he's
see.
gonna be late. He might not be able to be here. And I'm gonna let people know after I get through the intros. I'm gonna let people know why Crispy is not here tonight, and it's gonna be interesting. And Dark, you're gonna be here to hear. When somebody's not here, and we gotta put the
Mhm.
truth down on why they're not here. I got one. The reason why Crispy's not here. But before we get into that, of course, coming live from the 405, my brother who has been here from the beginning. And I don't know how he does it. I really don't. I would say he's pulling his hair out, but you've seen him on his streams. You know what the top floor looks like. So somebody got to him and kind of like beat me to it. But it is K Mega. K Mega, what is going on, bro? And I hear that your consoles are truly going to war, like in your entertainment center, and there's a certain Xbox that is pinning down a PlayStation. What is going on?
Exotic butters.
That's what happens over here, man. We like I like to do death duels, gladiator, saying fight to the death. I have my consoles fight to the death, and then who shall live is and who shall fall, and whoever wins for the day, I will allow to play them. But for right now, it looks like you're stupid, but anyway, let me stop trying to roll with that.
Well,
But
I hear the 360 came back from a previous generation over the PS4.
yes, because there was a deal for a backwards compatible game. And matter of fact, so it made me go and I'm like, look, I need to go to the store, to the 360 store, and see what's available on the 360 that is not available on the Xbox One. And I was going, and so the 360 was in the front room because, of course, the 360 is mostly being played for lips. Because matter of fact, we played lips. My kids wanted to play it, so we played lips just this past weekend. But
Are you sure your
yeah.
kids wanted to play it? And it wasn't like you. Come on, let's play.
No,
They were
no,
like,
my daughter,
fine.
my daughter brought it up, and it was like, oh, I'm coming over because I forgot that she got the 360, and I want to play lips. And so my son was like, well, I'm there, so. That's
Wow.
the lips is just. I told you, lips is just the shit. But anyway, so I went through there, and then and there's a lot of games I hate that did not be transferred over to the Xbox One, but there's also games that like and there's games that's pretty expensive that I'm going to get. I'm still going to get, like the Fist of the North Star games 1 and 2. They're available on the Xbox 360. I'm copping those. I know that one is like $30, another one's $60. I'm copping them both because those are instant classic. Those are some dope ass games, and so I can still buy those digitally on the 360. But the main reason was because there was some deals that's not on the Xbox One or on the Series X for some of the backwards compatible games, and there was 3 games I think that was there for like only $5, and there was one for $6. So I was like, oh, I want to copy. So I had no other room because I have my PlayStation, I have my Switch, and I have my Xbox Series X. They're separated from each other, but they're all on this desk. And so something had to, one shall stand, one shall fall. I'm like, hey, which ones? Switch don't deserve that type of disrespect. Switch is just there for fun and entertainment. It's like, look, man, fight the 360. So it's like, all right. And so, and the Series X, I don't want the Series X to beat up on his older uncle. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, look, come on, PlayStation. Let's see what you got. So I put the 360 on top of the PlayStation 4.
He rested
for just
the
a hot
360 on top of the PS4.
But the
Blasphemy.
It's not blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
I'm going to be playing on the PlayStation this weekend. There's a lot of good demos out there, and so
a lot of good demos. Oh wow, man! Wow.
God, come on, man. Listen, I'm dusting it off. I play on my PlayStation every once in a while, and this is a good weekend to play on it. So,
How dare you?
it's no disrespect. No disrespect. No, it's much love. I play. I think once to be honest, I think once one of these like I was gonna say Sifu. Oh, is Sifu how you pronounce it?
Sifu.
Okay, Sifu. I was right. Okay, so when Sifu drops, then I'm finna be on the PlayStation for a little while because I got some games I need to catch up on after I play that. So yeah, so I'll be on the PlayStation there.
When's that Bug Snacks DLC come out though, bro?
I don't know. I need to cop Bug Snacks. Well, no, I think Bug Snacks is through the store, wasn't it? I could download that for free, can't I?
I don't know.
From PSN, I think so.
Dark, can you download Bug Snacks?
I don't think so.
He's like, I would let you know, but my PlayStation's not on. My Xbox is on. That's what Dark's saying. My Xbox is on, but my PlayStation's not on right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I only play on PlayStation.
Oh my God! But my last point here is today. I just was over here nervous because I was expecting to be, but I got my COVID booster shot earlier.
No, Bug Snacks was only good for 1 month.
Oh, so, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I gotta wait for a sale then.
Yeah.
But I got my COVID booster shot, and you know what? And I'm getting disappointed here because I was promised all these mutations. I thought I was going to be Saberwolf or something by now, because people were saying that I was going to be magnetized. I was going to believe in Satan. I was going to have 5G coming out of my body. Shit is happening.
One of those three things happened, man. I'm not letting you say. I'm not saying which one it is.
Well, nobody's keys magnetized to me when I was walking out the damn hospital today. I was going out there. I got it, and then I'm looking around, and there was a lot of people because there was like a party or something, because it's the holidays and stuff like that. So there was all these people that were standing there. And they was getting free donuts and coffee and stuff like that. Nothing was attaching to me. I wasn't turning people's phones on. I'm like, damn, I want to be Electro for a day. Can I have these mutations? So anyway, long story short, because ass vaccinated. Stop doing that. Stop being scared. Hell, if you're going to be scared for I bet your ass is going to take a jab in your ass. You feel like you're dealing with a nasty ass chick
chill
or
with
man.
Your public service announcements, man. The people
public service announcement. Let's get to it.
Know what to do. They know what they're going to do. What they're not
Mega's
do,
public
right?
service announcement.
Yes, if you're gonna get the jab in your ass, you get the jab in your arm. Go ahead, do it. Let's get it.
So K Mega gets jabs in his ass. Anyway, guys, I do want to talk about as you can see, we are short a couple people. Shout out to my brother Pred, who said he's gonna be late. There's a chance he might not make it, so if we see him pop up, that would be awesome. But our brother Crispy, I feel really bad for him. I do. It seems that the moment of truth just hit him like a sledgehammer. And what happened was he decided to go in and try out Halo Infinite. And the game is so good. It's so good that it made him question his love for Gears. And now he is lying in his bed. His face is just deep in his pillow, filled with his own tears, because he is confused about his life. That is exactly what is going on. Halo Infinite has changed this man's world, and he doesn't know.
He even said in the DM that it's better than Gears.
And he doesn't know how to feel about that. He's crying and laughing at the same time. He is going hysterical right now. He does not know what to do. So shout out to him. Guys, if you do follow him on Twitter, what I need you to do is send out your condolences on Twitter. Tag Crispy. Tweet at Crispy and let him know it is okay to love Halo more than Gears. It is all right, man. But please do that. By the way, please do that. Shout out to Sir X-Ray hitting up that super chat early, guys. That is right. The super chat does indeed work. Try it out. It's great. He says, the shots made K Mega talk more. more rant time. So I guess he's looking for a K Mega rant. I don't know.
Well, no, he just said I was yapping, which I was, but I mean, Dark already did a podcast earlier today. This is all he's got. So he's done. He ain't going to talk that much. He's going to
Dark
go
did
back
one
into
earlier
Quest mode.
today.
I didn't do one earlier.
No,
today. What are you talking about?
it
No,
was
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So,
But
Yeah.
I couldn't make too much of the show because my power went out on half of my house. So
oh wow.
yeah,
Half?
that was fun.
You had half a power outage?
I had half a power outage.
Yo, what the? Only
Yeah, it
in
was all
Cali,
fucked up,
people.
dude.
Only in
Yeah,
Cali.
man,
Half-
it's
half.
ridiculous.
Wow.
I'm like, what the fuck? That's
Everybody
weird,
moved
but
to the
okay.
left side of the house. That is where the power is
Right.
now.
Literally never seen that in my entire life. Like ever see that.
Somebody said, I'm gonna take some of this power. Probably was Arnold.
Well, I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
That's what he said to your power. So, anyway.
Yes.
You know, Arnold, he got that sway over there on the West Coast, man. He was the leader for you guys for a while, and he could do whatever he wants. That's what I hear. I think Dark.
Tell you, he was better than what we have now.
I was gonna
Just
say, I
saying.
think even Dark voted for him, so that is what it is. But guys, we have
Well,
to
I mean, everybody voted for him. He was an actor, you know.
that's what this world and society has come down to, bro. That's what it's come down to.
It's Arnold, you know. We're like, fuck, it's Arnold, you know. We're like,
like,
yeah.
I remember him from that movie. Yo, click.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. But guys,
Yep.
we got to get into the topics. We have some good topics, and you know what? I want to start with Halo real quick. I thought we were gonna have more people on the panel to kind of like express their thoughts, their opinions, and whatnot. Now, K Mega, I know we did the spoiler cast yesterday, so we can't spoil anything.
Right.
All right. So as
Right.
we're talking, we gotta you know, there are certain things that are classified, and we cannot share them out because then the Secret Service and the CIA and the FBI will all be at your door, man. I'm just saying. But we got to ask, is the story good? Because, you know, that was the part that people were really asking questions about. And, you know, the multiplayer came out early. We got our hands on the multiplayer. So people knew about the gameplay and stuff with that. And not only that, but 343, when it comes to certain decisions that they made, when it came to like, you know, the ranking and progression, when it came to the playlists and stuff like that, I gotta give a shout out to 343 because like they're supposed to be out there on vacation. They worked hard to get this game out. They're supposed to be out there on vacation. But what did they do? They said they were going to talk about, you know, changes they were going to be making to the game in January, and they already changed a bunch of things when it came to the progression on the battle pass, when it came to playlists in the game, giving us
They had it SWAT, baby.
yes, but you got to call it Tactical Slayer. All right,
Yeah,
that's
I know,
the deal.
I know.
They added SWAT, but you just can't call it SWAT.
I know.
But you gotta give props to them. You know, when it came down to it, they're like, you know what, you know, they went back to the office, they got everything set up, and they put that out for the people who are, you know, playing the game. So I gotta say, shout out to them for what they did. But the campaign was the big mystery. It was the big concern for certain people out there. So before we get into that, hold on one more time. Sir X-Man, hit up the super chat again, bro. He says, Dark, that happens when you pay half of the light bill.
It's true. Yeah.
Yo,
You know what it was? It was the ground fault interrupter. That's what it was.
ground fault
So
interrupted.
yeah, so it's like it was just a little button in the garage. And I just had to press it down, and it reset.
So is that
sounds like an
what they
earthquake.
call
It's
a breaker box?
for earthquakes. That's what it is.
Okay,
Sir, where
okay,
we
okay.
live, we don't necessarily have to deal with that. That might be
Yeah,
second
you
nature
don't
to
have to deal with
you, a ground
Yeah.
fault disruptor, but we have no idea what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
You guys are like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I thought you was like, is that a breaker box?
So
'Cause
does
that's what
it
sounds like,
shuts
but
down.
no, okay.
It shuts down the power to the half of the house that it thinks is going to get destroyed.
I did have to break
in
into
an
my breaker
earthquake.
box though.
Dude.
Didn't have the key, so I had to break into the breaker box, and
He was sitting there with a
nothing was
butter
bricked in
knife
there.
trying to use his wedge. Yo, Dang.
No, I have bolt cutters.
Oh,
I'm not
hell
stupid. I have things to take care of that stuff. I'm a handy guy, okay? All right, man. Believe it or
Yo,
not.
our brother Christopher Hart is in the chat. Yo, Chris, he asked me if I'm playing the gunk anytime soon, and I got to put it out there. Weren't you
Oh my
excited?
God.
Weren't you excited to play Days Gone when that came out
Oh.
on the PS4? So yeah, why am I not gonna play the gunk, bro? Just saying.
Whoa.
Yeah. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining us. Crispy is in the chat telling everybody hit that like and sub. Let's go. Crispy, I hope you're okay. I hope your mental state has stabilized a little bit. I know it could be shocking to realize the gaming life that you lived has been a lie for so long.
I also hope that the Chiefs lose. Just so.
Oh, damn. Dark said the Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs. Anyway. But guys, so let's me and K Mega, we talked about Halo Infinite extensively. Let's give Dark Optimus a spotlight. Let's give him the shine, man. Brother, I gotta ask, playing the campaign, I gotta ask like how far along are you? You gotta let people know kind of like what mission you're on or whatnot, and then give us your thought. Is the campaign and the story good so far, bro?
No, not at all, dude. I mean, it's the worst fucking thing in the existence of video games, man. Like, I don't even understand. Like,
all right, now,
how are people playing this game?
We're not supposed to lie either, bro. I'm just saying.
That's the thing. I see it on Twitter all the fucking time. Oh, the story's not very good. The game looks like shit. I can't play this game. It's just. I'm like, well, were you a Halo fan before? Oh no, not really. Oh, well then why would you be a Halo fan now? Like, why would they change anything from what it was before? Like, they changed. I felt like they changed quite a bit, but it all fits with what Halo's like,
Yeah, it's still the Halo universe. It's still a Halo
exactly.
Master Chief.
I'm at the end of Pelican Down mission, so
oh, you're at the
I'm at
end of it.
Yeah, the end of it.
Hyperion.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close to the end. Actually, I'm probably maybe an hour or two off, maybe to the end.
I would say I would give it more than an hour, bro. I would give it more.
Yeah,
than
that's
an
why
hour,
I said an hour.
You are
or
closer
two.
than the end to the end than you are the beginning. Let's put it that way.
But I'm loving it, man. I think it's one of the better Halos in I would say probably 4 and 2 are at the top, and then this one, to be honest.
In terms of campaign?
In terms of campaign, in terms of just like sheer fun factor. Like, this one is so much fun, man. Like, the gameplay is so good in this game. Like, there's moments where I'm like, do I really want to do a side mission? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Because I'm like thinking to myself like, oh man, like what am I gonna run into next with just not only the banter between Chief and Weapon, but like even just the grunts what they say, and the elites what they say, and the banished what they say and stuff. Like it's just so there's a lot of depth that I think people are looking past.
The dialogue is the best that has ever been in Halo.
No doubt. For sure. Like, I mean, there's moments where like I think one grunt said something like I'm gonna kick your ass. I was like, yeah, motherfucker. I was like, come here, bitch. dude, this is like, it's been a while since I've actually sat here and played a Halo where I'm like yelling at the TV, like saying stuff like, well then let's go. I'm about to kill you, motherfucking ass.
Oh man, I wish we had video evidence of this, bro. Like, I really wish we had video evidence of this.
But yeah, I mean, I dude, honestly, my favorite character so far in the game, besides Chief, is Weapon, dude. She's so funny. So there's moments where I'm just sitting there, I'm like, that's funny. Like I just get a little giggle on, like and it's so good, man. Like the writing is really good. I think a lot of people were saying like it was like a Saturday morning cartoon. I was like, dude, I love fucking Saturday morning cartoons. Like like it brings me back to when I was a kid. Like it's a lot of fun, man. Like I can't. There's moment. I mean, there are things that there are spots in the game where it doesn't look very good. There are different things in there that it's like, this could have been better, or this could have, like the whole driving thing around the world. Like, there's so many rocks and like things like that. Like, I grapple a lot, dude. Like, there's, I'm grappling around, like for the most part, running around or grappling, because the vehicles, like, I don't feel like they're there's a lot of room for them, like in terms of like the warthog and the mongoose and those type of vehicles. But I know they give you a what's it called, the flying
The
one, I
Wasp.
forgot what it's called. The Wasp, yeah. So that one's cool. That's cool. That you can traverse pretty good with that one,
The
which is understandable
Scorpion
because you're in the
tank,
air.
brother. The tank.
Yeah, the scorpion's cool too. Like, I just feel like the warthog and like the mongoose, like, could have had a little bit more of an attention to it, like, as like
They feel
more
I
room
I
for
hear
it
what you're
to
saying. They
move
feel
around.
lighter. They feel lighter than
Yeah,
other than so they
yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
they tip over easier and stuff like
They
that, which
do, yeah, dude.
they could fix
Yeah, like
that, man.
you go over a pebble and your fucking warthog tips over. I'm like, what the hell? But
Wow. You see what
I'm
Crispy's
sure
saying
I'm sure
about you?
they'll
Yo, you see what
I'm
Crispy's
sure
saying
they'll
about you
they'll
in the
fix
chat,
it.
bro?
What is he saying? What is he's talking shit?
He's talking about you having fantasies with the weapon. Uh,
Dark wants to go balls deep in the
he said you prefer
Hey.
blue chicks, man. That's
No,
what he said.
prefer
no.
blue chicks, huh? That's funny. Um, no, I just think it's funny, man. Like, there's a lot of moments in this game where there's a lot of hilarity in it. Like, they definitely didn't take themselves too serious for this one, which is good because Halo's been kind of serious at times, but I remember the original, like, trilogy. It wasn't that serious. Like, there was moments where it was like there was some funny things going on, and I feel like Halo 4 kind of had that a little bit. Then they kind of like got away with it with Halo 5, and then they kind of went into like Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2 and stuff. And it kind of it didn't. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more hilarity in this one than there has been in the other 343 games, which is good because it's like you said, you bought before. You said that it was like 343's combat evolved, and it really is, dude. Like, honestly, it is. It's like it's kind of continuing the story. Well, I mean, it is continuing the story, but it's also kind of revamping the Halo franchise as
Yeah,
well at the same
like the
time. So,
feel of it and whatnot, man.
hmm
And
yeah,
it's amazing how much. And again, we talked about this a little bit yesterday as well. But when it comes to like how they started it, where you're on a ship and you're kind of like
hmm
fighting your way off. They did that in Combat Evolved.
yeah,
You know,
yep,
you get on and there's an unveiling of the Halo when you get there, just like Combat Evolved. There's certain other things that I don't you haven't gotten to yet, but
yeah,
that really kind of mirror certain missions in Combat Evolved, but kind of like brought up to more today's standards. And
yeah,
it's weird.
yeah.
Like if you played Combat
uh
Evolved a lot, like back in the day, there's gonna be certain
mm,
missions that you're like, yo, this feels familiar,
right,
but
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
it's exactly what it
Well,
is, man.
that's the thing. Like, I feel like, um, you know, at the beginning, I really didn't know what the hell was going on. and then I watched the Gaming Bolt video that all the videos that they did together, um, for Halo leading up to Halo Infinite, and I was like, okay, I get what's going on now. So then I went back and I started the game over again. So, tells you, I started the game over again, and then I got it. I was like, "Oh, okay." Because I was confused because I never finished Halo 5. I didn't play Halo Wars 2. So, I was kind of lost at the
Oh wow, you didn't
at
finish
point.
Halo 5? I did
No,
not
I
know
never
that,
finished
man.
Halo 5. Never finished Halo 5.
Because we played
It's
we
just
played we
I
played quite a lot
we
of
did
multiplayer together. Like
We did. Yeah. I mean, I was really into the multiplayer with Halo 5 though. Like I loved the multiplayer of Halo 5. This one, I'm still on the fence about the multiplayer here, but I still have to jump into SWAT, well, Tactical Slayer now. Whatever the fuck they call it. It's still gonna be SWAT to me. It's always gonna be SWAT. But yeah, I mean the game is just it's it's fun. Like I can get past the graphics. I can get past the some of the story stuff. Like there is some stuff that I'm like, it could have been better here, but I can get past it just because of the gameplay alone. And that's I think people are not taking into account is the gameplay.
or they're
They're
trying to
taking
ignore it. Like
right, they're trying to ignore it. And it's like, okay. I understand that you have your preferences in terms of consoles and stuff like that, but we can't deny that Halo is that this one's a lot of fun. Like you can't
dude,
deny it. Like I mean,
there's certain
you could
people
try, but
there's certain people on social media that you already know from what they talk about, what they tweet about,
yeah,
like that they
yeah.
had no interest, but for some rhyme or reason they have an Xbox. So they go in and they try to game
Uh,
and they report like a reporter on the scene of a crime. They're like, "Well, I've been playing for 4 hours now and I got to say I'm bored and yeah, this just in, I really don't like Halo anyway. I have no idea why I'm playing, but I'm reporting to you live to let you know my thoughts and opinions
yeah,
like
if
it's
you were
gonna matter."
never a if you were never a fan, then what makes you think you're going to become a fan now? After because I mean they have to continue the story still, even though this does feel like a refreshing Halo.
Hmm.
They had to continue the story and continue things with Halo that felt Halo-esque. So I mean, if you don't if you didn't like Halo before, you're not gonna like it now. Like it's just not gonna happen. So it makes no sense for people to say that, oh well, I it's really not fair to the game itself because I mean the game is a lot of fun. I mean I don't understand how people aren't enjoying it if you enjoyed Halo before, you know.
Yeah.
Like I get like you're kind of critiquing it in terms of like the way it looks, some of the things that go on in the game, but gameplay wise, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, even a lot of the side missions are fun too, but it does get repetitive. It does. I mean, but what game the only game I can think of that hasn't done that was The Witcher 3, you know?
Hmm.
Witcher 3 was the only game that really, you know, broadened its horizon when it came to side missions. And we haven't really seen that so much since. Um, I mean, we might have seen it in a couple other games, but it wasn't to the extent of what The Witcher 3 was like. So I mean, I just I I I'm enjoying it, man. That's all I care about. I mean, if you don't want to enjoy it, you don't have to enjoy it. If you want to sit here and say, "Well, I'm a piece of shit" or whatever for enjoying a game, then go ahead. I don't care. I don't care. You know,
You
like
you are a
like
piece of shit for enjoying a game.
yeah. Well, it's like it's funny because people think I care, and it's like I don't, dude. Like I don't. Okay,
All right.
you
Well,
know.
let's get K Mega in on this now. K Mega, I just gotta ask you, man. Halo Infinite campaign, the big mystery. It's been out. It's been out for about a week right now. What I gotta ask you, man, is the game good?
Yeah, no, the game is good. The one thing about it is what Dark was bringing up was like a game that didn't have like any repetitiveness. Um, Cyberpunk was another game like that in the sense
Yeah,
of
yeah. Well, the same developer.
the same developer. Yeah, the side missions were all of them were completely different. Now, the repetitiveness was doing those little blue like cop vigilante missions. Those were all the same. Those were repetitive. But yeah, like you're right. Like what game out here doesn't have repetitiveness? Like, I mean, that's the one thing about for all the people who's giving games criticism, you can go to a lot of the games that they tout and support, and that's nothing but repetitiveness, you know what I'm saying, through a lot of their games. But it is what it is. People like to nitpick, that's their decision. But Halo was good. I was just having a conversation with somebody online that was trying to tell me that the side missions going out into the open world really didn't affect anything within the story. But then that is a lie, because if you have not done things within the story, then how can you truly progress in the game without going and getting the abilities to enhance your suit or to get better intel of what's going on within the story.
I'll agree. I'll agree with the intel, especially there's at least one piece of intel at every kind of like base and stuff like that. If it's a complete banished base, then you have kind of like the banished kind of like data there. If you have the UNSC base that was taken over by the banished, and you'll have the UNSC kind of like
But
data
you'll still
there.
be
But the
yeah, but you're
the
still
abilities you got all in the campaign. But in terms,
no,
yeah,
that's not true. No,
yes, sir, because
you can't.
that's where the Dead
You
Spartans
can't.
were.
No,
That gave you the
no.
abilities. Yes.
But you can't enhance your
Yeah,
abilities
yeah. Well, that I'm saying, but the core
without the
ability,
open world.
they give it
You
to you in the
you
campaign.
can't beat heroic, and you damn sure can't beat legendary with just basic shit. You can't.
Dude,
Normal,
I had
easy, you can. Or maybe you can. I don't know. And I played in heroic. There was no way that I was getting past that game
No,
with just.
you wouldn't get past that
There's
game if you didn't have
no
the shields.
way, no way
Yeah.
if you didn't have your stuff enhanced. Absolutely no way. No way. That's just but see, that can't, like, look, I'm not trying to knock on how anybody plays. That's not what I'm trying to suggest. I'm just bringing up a point of what somebody is telling me on the chat, and talking about, well, there was no reason to do the open world stuff because you just go through the story mode and it's like 7 to 8 hours and that's it. You didn't get a complete full story about how what's going on with the game. You didn't see the complete ending. You didn't enhance your abilities to the maximum when you actually really do need them. And secondly, you played either on easy or normal and just rushed through the game. That's if that's how you play games, that's your business. But I don't know how you enjoy games playing like that. And so for me, when people make these criticisms, it's more to me sounding like you're just trying to get through it so you can have a point to criticize.
Yeah.
But you're legitimately not doing, because you don't do that with the games that you're anticipating. You don't go through God of War just going through. You didn't go through Ghost of Tsushima by just going through just the pinpoint parts of the story. If you did and you criticize it, then what you're doing is making a point of saying, oh, I'm just you know what I'm saying, I'm a nipper, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look, maybe this is why I take my time when I play games, and I don't beat every game. Once they come out, I kind of go back and then play games because I know that I'm going to have a long session with some of these games. But to me, it's kind of like a waste of time and money to go through something that you spend. No, I'm like, listen, like I said, I'm not knocking anybody who takes.
Oh no, I'm not saying you are, but what I was just trying to put in there, and again, you got to remember, we're down 2 people. I'm trying to get a little back and forth between you and Dark and stuff like that. But as a gamer, you are given this chunk of space with stuff to do, and not only with stuff to do, stuff that has rewards when you do get it done. Why would you completely ignore that and just streamline straight from point A, the beginning, to point B, the end, and not at least travel out there and try some of the stuff out? Like, as a gamer, like, there's a whole world out there for you to go and mess around in. I know people that have discovered some of the weirdest shit on Zeta Halo. There's a group of grunts worshiping a sandwich in a cave.
Yeah.
Like,
there's also a propaganda tower where they like one of the grunts is doing the Halo song. He's like, you know, and he's doing that, and he's like, I hated that song.
Right,
was
yeah,
great.
that was
That
funny.
song.
I
And then he like, and then the shit's so funny, man. Like there's moments in this game where I think people are just, I don't know, I don't know. I think it's just because it's on Game Pass. People are like, they critique it more than they would anything else.
ooh.
You notice that? Like if it wasn't on Game Pass, it might have not have been as critiqued as it was. But since it is on Game Pass, everybody can play it.
That's a
That
good
it
point.
makes it gets critiqued more. You know what I'm saying?
As a filler game, but yeah,
Exactly.
No, and that to me is where the problem is that we got to stop listening to people that try to always make these critique likes that because how many of these people that has PSN and that downloaded these free games and they've played them to their, you know, they played them and they enjoyed them. I mean, if Xbox gamers or just other gamers wanted to criticize them for them to download games that they get free through their service, then again, how does that makes you sound like a fool?
I've
we pay for
never
this.
been criticized. That's the thing. I've never been criticized by an Xbox gamer, quote unquote Xbox gamer. I've only ever been criticized by a PlayStation gamer who was just like, "Why are you playing it? Why are you playing it on Xbox?" And I'm just like, "Who gives a fuck? Why do you care?"
Right. Why do you care? Why do you care? Like, I mean, it's like, I mean, like these people are really, all it's showing is that there's people that's really hurt because Xbox kicked PlayStation's ass this year. I mean, if Xbox was just the best console when it came to games, when it came to value, when it came to, you know, the hardware. It won 2021, period. There's no denying it. But back to Halo, I enjoyed it. There was things that I was nervous about, of course, and because of everybody talking about like it was a spiritual reboot, like they're gonna release everything from Halo 5. And then one thing I've always said since before we even we knew what was going on within the game, I'm like, that would be the biggest disappointment ever, to take away a game that was solid. And what has also been proven, I mean, Dark just sit here and said himself, he didn't finish Halo 5. There were so many people who didn't even pay attention to them play Halo 5 because of whatever the reason was. They couldn't get into the story, or because of the backlash of just the era of Xbox One games, whatever. But the point of the matter
for
is,
me, it was the story. I couldn't get into it, man.
Yeah, right. And so, but this is the thing of it that makes that for me, who's played the story, for the millions of others who's played the story, if they liked it, loved it, hated it, whatever the case, that's their opinion. There's a choice. But the point is that they did not stray away from anything from Halo 5 or Halo 4. And that was beautiful.
Or even Halo Wars 2.
No, no, that's what I'm saying. Like everything from 343,
it's all canon,
put
bro.
in motion, all canon. It's all there. They didn't. What once you beat Halo 5 on Legendary and you seen that Zeta ring, that's it goes straight there. Like that's exactly how the game starts. Is you're right there. Because I'm like, what the hell is this ring? I'm like, what is that? When I beat Halo 5, I'm like, what is going on here? And then, of course, I do have to let my Locke haters out there know Locke is not dead. Locke is still alive. Locke is going to be coming back, and it's going to be awesome. So, you know what I'm saying? There's two things. So they talk about Locke in the game, but it's through when you're in the open world, you can find one of those data things, and they talk about Locke's secret mission.
They talk about him being on a secret mission. That was kind of cool. I was like, was like, huh, all right, well,
Them and Blue Team. Blue Team is gone somewhere else. It's on a secret mission, and then they talk about Locke himself.
that's why
mission.
that's why Master Chief
Yo,
is all
real quick,
alone
yo,
at
I
that
got to
point.
shout out. It's not a super chat, but I got to shout out Verge Bizzle in the chat, bro. You beat it on Legendary, yo. I got to give you props because as I was playing through the game, the last 3 bosses, I was thinking about what they would be like on Legendary.
That's what I'm saying. Like people, the dude, when I was talking to the PlayStation dude on the phone while we were going to show, because he was just talking about like, he didn't have to go through the story and everything. I know he was lying because I'm like, I went through it through heroic, and the last 3 battles, especially at the end, the final battle, there was no way you getting through that on heroic or legendary. You're not. So I've seen people say, "Oh, I beat on legendary. It took 8 hours." Bullshit. You're lying. You're frauding the public. You're frauding the public.
Yo, especially there's no co-op either. Yeah. No way you beat legendary.
No, and no abilities, no enhancements to your man. Hell no, you are lying. No. Because if you could enhance your just to enhance, because you know how people are. We like to put our we put our little enhancements. I forgot what those things are called. Abilities on other things. You're gonna put it on the dash. You're gonna put one on you're gonna put probably your most on the hook. Yeah, the upgrades. You're gonna dabble around and put your points onto other abilities. You're not going to put all your points on just one thing because you're not thinking the game is going to get that tough. Like once I realized how tough that the game was going to be is when I fought a boss in this tower. It was a torture chamber for humans.
Oh yeah, the what's his name? Fucking.
I can't remember what his name was, but he was
one of the elites or whatever.
Yeah, he was a problem.
Yeah.
He was a problem. Yeah. And I was over here trying to be cute, going way out. And I'm like, I'm gonna do like I do with all other open world games to kind of build up. And I'm looking, and I went there, and that thing beat me about 25 times. I said, "Oh my god!" Man. And so
he's tough.
He was tough. But I love that atmosphere. So anyway, but I just think that the game, it did touch on the nostalgia of being to Halo 1 for sure. But you were spot on with that. But like I said, I love the fact that it did continue the story, made everything from the Halo Wars all the way down to Halo 5 is canon, and that everything is in place, and it sets up for a fantastic new arrival of something, and then it also gives a conclusion. But of course, this is not the spoiler cast. But I am very, very, very excited for the future.
There was a moment. Sure. There was a moment when you get this like flashback of Cortana, and she's just like, "I know what you're talking about." There's a moment where she says something about something worse than something else. And I was just like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Dude, I literally sat there. I was like, oh fuck."
Right. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but like, and then you get the true explanation of what the harbinger of truth is, and what that could represent. Man, the story. To get into the lore of Halo is excellent, but again. I never want Halo to ever go backwards. I want them to keep the same formula. Continue to stay focused. Now, to build up on what they're doing with the open world space, that made the game feel fresh.
Now, is there a special like cutscene at the end of the game if you beat on Legendary?
Yes. That's tradition in Halo.
Yes, and it's nutty. It's nutty. I can't wait to because the game is definitely.
Did you watch it or did you play?
Yeah, no.
With
I watched.
I couldn't wait, man. I watched it because I knew there was going to be.
I watched it.
I wanted to see if it was going to be something silly, like when they had was it Sergeant Johnson like hugging an elite soldier, or if they were going to go deeper into the story.
They're not punchy, dude.
And what they did was they went into a more detailed explanation of what's happening.
Right.
Okay. I would have to
Yeah.
watch that after I finish this story.
Yeah, because after I beat it, I was like, because I made it, I'm like, I'm not gonna beat this game. I'm not gonna beat this game and then watch shit first. I mean, I'm not gonna watch shit first until I beat the game. And so when I beat it Saturday night, I was like, okay. I said, now anything I got to do is just look for other like things within the game, and then I'm gonna go. But so then I watched it, and I'm like, oh my god, now everything is making sense. And then so then we talked about on the spoiler cast about my predictions and what I think of what's going on. But it's but yeah, but the thing that made me happy the most was that Locke was not dead. And then also the other part to where it makes sure that Locke is definitely not dead is their skull. And I'll just tell that because I mean that
yeah, the alternate dialogue skull.
Yeah, there's an alternate
like
dialogue
IWYBD or something like that.
Yeah, and the skulls are kind of hard to find. So I found 2 so far. I got to find the other ones, but
I only found 1. So
yeah, I found 2. But the skull it talks about Locke and it talks about Hyperion, and it makes the point of Hyperion had this great battle with Locke, but he whoops Locke's ass, but he spares Locke because he wanted to prove to all the Spartans that he can fight the best Spartans out there and defeat them, and he took his helmet as a trophy.
Yeah.
Because when I seen Hyperion, when you see Hyperion, it's not going to be easy. Trust that, because Hyperion is oh my god, I want to say it, but I'm not going to say it. No. But the way that he comes up on you, you're like, what? He's blinged out, bro. He's blinged out. But and he is
like a Dark Souls, like a Dark Souls fucking boss.
Yes.
A Halo Dark Souls boss. Like, yeah, that's a good. That is a good way
there's some there's surprises with that too. So and then after that though, I will say this, Stark. This is probably the best dialogue after this that you'll hear from Master Chief ever. I think ever in Halo.
Oh wow.
I love that. I love that because they humanized him even more. And so I love that. And you probably already seen
totally humanized him in this.
Right.
Like before he felt very like before in other Halos, I really felt like powerful. Just like you're just a badass, you know. Like I mean, I still feel like I'm a badass.
They started that Halo 4 into Halo 5.
Right, they did.
Yeah,
but they really
humanized him more and stuff. Yeah, this one they really humanized him though. It was nice to see like, okay, Chief's not.
You did be 5, so they gave him a lot of human elements. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. But look, the game is good now. I will say my problems with the game, which they're not nitpicking, but because they're the actual issues. I think is that the game at some points look absolutely stunning. I mean, just beautiful. And then there's times that you could just be in the environment and it looks really mid, like especially in the open world aspect. Like you look and you're like, yeah, this right here doesn't look too cute. This is not the power of the Series X on this in this little environment right here. This is okay looking. You know, you want to see a little bit more, but then there's points where you look and you're looking at the sky because they hit the skybox. Like there was a lot of people that would complain about like 343 doesn't do the sky. The skybox is amazing in this in Infinite. And then there's just time with the night day cycle. I wasn't personally affected too much about like being in the same area because if you know what they're going to do with the game, this is only just one big huge chunk of section because I was trying to go further out. And it locks you in, so which means that there's more stuff. So I think and there's definitely going to be different terrain going forward. I think for a first entry to what Halo Infinite is trying to do, I'm not really disappointed in it. I've seen people that's expecting to see beautiful environments like Ghost of Tsushima because I think Ghost of Tsushima probably hit it better than any game that I've ever seen when it comes to environments. Like, I mean, I'm still trying to think. When in Cyberpunk 20,
people can't differentiate that these are two very different games.
Yeah,
you know, and that's the same thing when they're trying to compare Hellblade to fucking Horizon Forbidden West. They're completely different games.
Right.
Completely
right.
different. They're not.
Right.
They're not even close to each other at all. Like
So
Hellblade's more of a linear type of game. Horizon's more of an open world. It's they're not the same thing. You can't compare them. Like
no.
I don't understand why people compare
Well,
games to other games that aren't
people
even
crack me
compared
up.
together.
People crack me up about like when we were trying to say that about like games like Sea of Thieves and Crackdown 3. Like, look, the art style is just different compared to this. No, that just means that y'all just want to get filler games. But now, after Hellblade was shown, and then Hellblade made everything else from what Sony showed, because I mean, it looked, yes, the artistry is differently, but you can't now use saying, oh, well, look at the art style is different. You wasn't saying that before. You was over here talking about the game. Because when you seen what Hellblade looked like compared to what Horizon Zero Dawn looked like it was more of a cartoony looking game, but it looked absolutely beautiful. It's going to look beautiful. The first game looked fantastic. So you can't sit here and be one of those people that was capping about art style doesn't matter back then. And now you're trying to bring up art style now. Like for everybody else who's been a normal gamer and that hasn't talked out their ass, I totally understand. It is a two different type of game, so it really doesn't matter. Like, both games are going to look great. But for those that was capping, that was making that point, they legitimately need to be called out on it, and they've been caught again in their lies and hypocrisy. My last point on with Halo is that another thing that Halo does not need to ever change again. And you need to keep this forever, and that's the boss battles, because I thought that had
dude,
the
the boss battles added
just
so much,
absolute
dude.
joy. Added so much.
It did definitely add a lot.
It fleshed out the army you were going against. Like, it wasn't
Yes.
just all rank and file soldiers. Like you were fighting some of the heads of the squadrons and stuff like that had their own unique weapons, and that was really cool.
You're fighting some dudes that are at some points more badass than Spartans are.
Oh, and guess what? When you beat those bosses, go back to your UNSC bases in the open world, because their weapons are in the weapons cache.
Yes, and they got some the bounties.
I got a blood red
weapons.
sword. I got a blood red plasma sword that is just nasty, bro.
There is a needler, because I call it the Primatine Mist, because it shoots out the little mist when it hits you. But there's this needler, and I think these weapons are also going to be put into like Fiesta, into the multiplayer and stuff like that.
Probably Super Fiesta.
Yeah. That bastard follows you, and it tracks you. Like, you can't run from that one. That I'm like, what? And then like there's a hammer. There's all different. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a reason why people make these games, these open world games, for you to experience things. Now, is it as enriching as The Witcher 3 in its open world, or Cyberpunk 2020? No, it's their first entry into something they're doing with a franchise that they've never done before. So again, you got to give them some time. But yeah, I love it. I love it.
I just want to say,
like the Assassin's Creed, man, like the new Assassin's Creed, not the older ones.
I just want to say something about the whole, the world feels empty situation. Then we're gonna move on to the next subject real quick.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, you're on a Halo ring. All right, you're on a Halo ring. Halo rings are not inhabited. All right. So if you were thinking, man, I'll get down on this ring and there's supposed to be this huge metropolis area, with kind of like futuristic buildings and stuff like that. That's not how the Halo rings were built. They were built to hold nature on the outside, and all the technology and stuff like that is underground inside the ring. So when people are talking about like the world is empty, besides like the squads of banished that you have, and the bases that were put in various kind of like strategical places, there's not supposed to be anything else anywhere else. They have their own wildlife that kind of came up from having that nature standpoint on the ring, on the surface. But that's pretty much what it's supposed to be. So for people who are like, well, the world feels empty, like, do you want, like, all the banished felt like they won already? All right, they're not there marching 80 squadrons out there and sweeping the ring.
4 minutes.
They feel they've won the war already. You're going in as they're going in with their people, just trying to find something that they're looking for, whether it's to, turn the ring on, and of course they're not going to be there if they're trying to turn the ring on either, because if they're there on the surface of the ring when that shit gets turned on, they're gone, kills all organic life. That's what a Halo ring does. So, like, for people who are like, well, the world feels empty and stuff like it's kind of supposed to feel that way. And then you have the different outposts and stuff like that where the Banished are there, and they're kind of hunkered down, and they're waiting for things to be discovered inside the Halo. Like, that's...
I feel like some of these people never played an open world game, because there's a lot of open world games that feel empty as fuck, dude.
Yes.
There's there's moments in, I mean, even in Ghost of Tsushima, in Horizon Zero Dawn, like that are just, I love those games. Don't get me wrong, I love them. They're fantastic games, but there's moments where it feels empty as fuck. There's just not much going on. So I just feel like some people are just, I think they're trying to critique it so hard because they can't stand the fact that the game is actually good.
Yeah.
Or they don't. It's so
facts right there.
fucking weird. It's so weird, dude. Dude, these people act like little kids, man.
And
I
the
don't
funny thing
understand
was,
it.
so much actually got cut from
Fucking
the...
frustrates me.
Yo, Dark, it's the funny thing is, the game is so good, and so much of it got cut, to kind of release on time after that year delay and stuff like that. There's content that has been cut from this game, and it still came out that good. So yeah, it's really rubbing a bunch of people the wrong way. A lot of people that don't necessarily enjoy the Xbox platform to begin with. So you have them out there. The saying. The basically it's not the majority that is the loudest. It's the minority. And when you hear that so loud about like how much this game is this and it's that and it's this and it's that, that's coming from the minority. I mean, you see what people are saying, talking about the game.
I know.
So, but let's move on, because talking about games, it was announced, I believe it was yesterday. It was announced that a certain franchise is coming back. It is getting a reboot. It is a game, a franchise that people have been asking to come back for years, including myself, man. And we'll get into my thoughts on this. But Ubisoft has announced that they are in development with a Splinter Cell reboot. That is right, people. Sam Fisher is back. And I gotta say, when I first saw this, I had to make sure it was real first, because we've heard for the past few years. Yeah, we heard for the past few years, they're gonna show a new Splinter Cell or announce a new Splinter Cell at E3 or at Tokyo Game Show or at like Gamescom, and it never happened. It never happened, and I was kind of in the same boat as Jez Corden. Windows Central, it's like I'm not even gonna look for it anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's a done deal. But I was excited at first, and then I thought about the state of the publisher and the developer that is making this game. Now, Ubisoft has talked about, man, basically most of their games, they're going games as a service, and I look at Splinter Cell and I think stealth game. I don't really see a service model involved with a franchise like that. And like, so I want to ask you guys, like, first off, how did you feel when you found out that, when they announced, Splinter Cell in development? And then I gotta ask, man, are you excited or are you concerned because of the state of Ubisoft right now and what they feel is most important, and where they're going with their franchises? Let me,
Oh, you better get it right, because Elusive Gamer's yelling at you in the chat.
what? Remake, not
It goes,
reboot.
it goes,
Okay.
it goes remake, not reboot. Damn
Okay.
it.
Oh, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jamie. My bad, brother. Okay, remake. I'm sorry, but in terms of a remake, like I don't know what's going to be of the structure. And again, Ubisoft,
Well,
they're
he says also linear confirmed. Thankfully.
really.
So
All right, all right. So can they do a service game with it being linear? I don't know, Dark. What
Yeah,
what
they
what's your
might.
what's your thoughts on this, man? Are you excited? Are you excited and concerned?
How did
Are you
Omega
more
first?
one way or
Went
the
to
other?
me first
Because he
last
was
time.
talking forever, man. That's why. Like, I want to give him a chance to breathe, maybe sip on something to drink.
All right.
You know, make sure the
it's
throat
only
don't
three
get
of us.
dry.
I mean, shit. I can just not say nothing and just let you two talk and let y'all lose viewers. But let's go ahead. Come
Oh, damn, damn.
on.
Dark, are you gonna
He's
take
not
that
wrong.
maybe?
We would definitely lose
You need to be
viewers if Kid Mike
engaging
didn't.
and entertaining right now. It's all on you, Dark. What's going on, bro?
Honestly, dude, when I heard it, I was like, did I even wake up today? I don't even know. I don't even know if I woke up. I honestly thought I died and I was in hell for a second because I was like, really? Like you're gonna tease me with this shit? Really? And then I realized, oh yeah, I'm alive. And I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Honestly, I was just like, I've heard it so much that I was just kind of like,
You're a little numb.
I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. You know, still, like I'm still at that point, like I'll believe it when I see it. Kind of thing. I mean, I know they confirmed it and stuff like that, but I mean, how long is it going to be before we actually see this game? I mean, if we see it next year, that'd be fantastic, but I don't
I
know.
think they just started
They haven't.
development on it,
Yeah,
so
and if they just started development, that means what? Maybe even not until next generation. Maybe. Well, I don't know.
oh damn,
there's
That-
theories. There's theories as to this generation lasting a lot longer than the past generation, anyways. But yeah, I don't know, man. I was kind of like, oh, okay. I wasn't like super ecstatic for it, even though I have been in the past ecstatic for it. It's just I have a hard time believing that this is actually going to happen. I think as soon as we start seeing, um, you know, trailers and we start seeing gameplay and we start, getting a release date and stuff, and maybe then at that point I'll be like more excited for it. But as of right now, I'm kind of like on the fence. I'm
I'm a
like,
little.
I'm still cautious.
I gotta say, I'm a little kind of I'm a little cautious about this because again, I feel
Mhm.
like this Ubisoft is not the Ubisoft that came up with the original Splinter Cell, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the twist. Kind of like an M Night Shyamalan movie. You're waiting. You're waiting for the twist, and a lot of his movies.
And then you get disappointed.
Yeah, and a lot of the movies where the twist is like, oh, dude, really? Come on, man.
It's kind of
Like,
shitty. You're like, really? Come
yeah.
on, man.
Although I did like his
I mean,
movie where everybody was stuck in the elevator. That was an awesome movie.
I liked that one too, and I liked The Visit. The Visit was good too.
Okay.
I like that one.
But like I said,
Yeah.
it's hit or miss though. Like, and I'm waiting for that twist,
Mhm.
because Ubisoft, they're trying to find different ways to create revenue off of their games. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to
I was
go.
like, is it April 1st? Because are we? Am I like living in the future right now? First? Oh, okay. No, it's still December. All right. Okay. I thought it was an April Fool's joke, man. Honestly, I was just like, I was just like, okay, like it just I wish it would have phased me better, than it has, but it's just been so many years of being disappointed with not seeing a Splinter Cell and then seeing Sam Fisher on like some bullshit game that no one gives a fuck about,
Some mobile game.
um
Yeah.
yeah, some mobile bullshit game. Um and it was just like we've just been disappointed for years, dude. We've been disappointed, like, and it's just who knows,
Y-
you know.
I hear you, and because the thing is, and shout out to Jamie, the elusive gamer in the chat. He's saying that it's being developed by the same team that made Blacklist. Is it exactly the same team or whatnot? But
Mm,
my whole thing,
Blacklist was
K
very
Mega's
good
going to
though.
completely disagree with me on this, but when you think Splinter Cell, you think stealth game built for the ground up. Stealth. That's the way it goes. Now they did kind of
What the fuck was that?
and with what I've seen, with what they did with Assassin's Creed, which is originally a stealth game, because that's what an assassin
They made
is.
Assassin's Creed so much
They
better.
didn't.
But go
They
ahead.
made it
continue.
less assassin, is what they
They
did.
made it. They made the game 10 times better than
You
what
are
the Assassin's Creed
ignoring what
also
I'm
did.
saying about assassin, though.
Let's.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
you love generic action adventure game number 5. I got you, bro. It's okay.
Cassandra.
It's okay.
Who
I
do
don't
you-
even know who
So,
that
so,
is.
so who do you love more, Cassandra? Well, I'm not you, but who do you think
Ezio.
the people
Ezio.
go for, Ezio or Cassandra?
Ezio's number 1. Ezio is
I
still
think
number
I
1.
think people would go with Ezio.
Yes,
all day
Ezio
long,
is
man.
still number 1, bro.
Cassandra.
Yeah.
Still.
Cassandra,
Ezio's name
go for
will go
Bayek,
down in history.
Cassandra.
Cassandra and Bayek were fantastic characters.
Thank you.
The
They weren't
last
Ezio,
one
though.
with Valhalla was not very good. Honestly, I swear to God, dude, like if they do that again with Assassin's Creed, I'm completely done with Assassin's Creed.
Well,
Just-
yeah, I'm gonna jump on it at the beginning of the year. So
yeah, good luck.
and
Because
dig into it.
at the end, once you get to the end, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck was that?"
Well, they're bringing Cassandra back, like to
I know.
go into that
Yeah.
world. Yeah, like I'm like, what? This is what I'm talking about.
Ivor was kind of a cool character, but like
Mhm.
I was excited for it because it was like this Viking stuff, and I
Mhm.
like that lore. I love that time period, and it just it fell flat with the story, like completely.
Mm.
Like I didn't feel like there was an ending really to it. I understand that they were trying to kind of carry it along for like I know they're trying to carry it along for like 2 years so that when the next Assassin's Creed comes out, we're ready for it. But it's just like I wanted a full, complete story, and then they could add on DLC, but they didn't. It just.
All right. Well, I got a couple people in the chat that don't necessarily agree with me. Now, Rosaire, I hear what you're saying. It's only less stealth if you choose to make it less. But here's the deal: it wasn't built from the ground up with stealth in mind. Like if you're an assassin, that is the way you take people out. You don't go in with your axe and hack down an entire squadron like in the middle of a field and call yourself
That's
an assassin.
not what you do, bud. That's
Yep.
not what you do. You cannot go in there and hack and slash a whole group of enemies in the new Assassin's Creed. They'll kick your ass. You gotta be stealth. Figure where you go, and then when you killed enough of your enemies in stealth, then you can go in. You can get down if you want to get down. But there's no way you can just walk around and hack and slash unless, again, if you're one of those people that just want to play on easy and just kind of, that's it. I mean, like I said, I'm not knocking you for it, but no.
People, man, and it's not easy. It's called crap gamer mode.
I just find it to be egregious that you would spend money to have a good experience, but then yet you want it to be so easy that you don't get a full challenge. But like I said, every individual is different. Now,
they spent their money; they can play the game however they want to play.
Right, and then also got to put in consideration because Cerebral Paul got mad at me and he ain't talked to me yet after that because because I told him because he told me he was playing the game on easy and something. And I said, man, get better. You know what I'm saying? I said, get better, Buttercup. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Just step your game up, Buttercup. And he got mad. I'm handicapped. Listen, bro, that's not what I would. You came in here complaining, talking about one other thing. I didn't even put the consideration, together. And so I apologize, but he got mad at me. So whatever. But the one of it's like, look, for people who have issues or don't have the time or just want to play, like that's fine. I'm just saying for me, if you're trying to play a game, and I'm not saying you got to play on the hardest difficulty, some shit like that. No, if you're playing on just normal, I mean, you can't go into Assassin's Creed and just cut up people like that in the new Assassin's Creed. That those guys will tear your ass up. You still gotta do stealth.
Well, K Mega, what do you think about this announcement? Are you one of the people? Have you been like wanting another Splinter Cell? What do you think with kind of like the new look Ubisoft and what's going on with them?
Look, I'm completely different than everybody else. I mean, I've enjoyed the new Loop Ubisoft games myself. Like, I mean, I thought that Wildlands was fun. I definitely enjoyed Breakpoint once they fixed it because it was buggy as hell because I bought it day one. Me and Don went through it. We beat it. I just, to me, I've always been a gamer that just wants to get my my money's worth. And so, like, I mean, you go through a single player experience where it's linear. You get done in 8 hours. I paid $60. I could go into a Ubisoft game, pay $60. I can play. I can get 300. I can get 200 to 300 hours into it, and I feel. And you know what I'm saying. And it doesn't have to be that long. It's just because that's just how I play games. Like I like to go through things like a fine tooth comb. Like I'm not a completionist in the sense of I'm an achievement hunter, but I'm a completionist on wanting to find every little thing in the game to where I can enhance my character to where when I'll go meet the boss, we gonna get down on the same level. That's how I play games. But I just feel what Ubisoft is giving is me to play with the games that I've played with them. Now I've played every Ubisoft game, but for the Assassin's Creed, for the new stuff, I love that. I enjoyed those. I thought the stories was compelling, going through and trying to hunt down the whatever the bounties for the something of Cosmos. I forgot the name of those guys. What we call. And then just doing the ship battles, doing all that stuff. I love that. I know that like the Ghost Recon people are wanting more traditional old school Ghost Recon, but and people hate Breakpoint because that seemed to have taken away that aspect of it. But like I said, I enjoy those type of games. For this, if it's linear, I'm cool with it. That's fine. I'm all right for Splinter Cell to come back. Is it my number one most exciting franchise of all time? No, it's not. I've only played a few of them. I played 4 of them. I've beaten only 1, so I'm not into them like other people are. So I thought that I thought Black Flag, not Black Flag, Blacklist was really dope. And I need to go back and I need to finish that. But to me, it's like I'm happy for the fans who really been asking for this game because people have been asking for that game for a very, 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 very long time. So, but if it looks dope, I'm on it. That's just me. And if it's going to be somewhere, somebody, oh man, I went through it, man. It was a good 8 hours. I'm not paying $60 for 8 hours no more. I'm done with that. Unless it's something like that looks like the Matrix, Awakening. You know what I'm saying? The demo. And I understand that that's a resource hog for your ass,
Yeah,
and
that's a game.
good
That's a
6
game
hours.
engine demo. That's Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying if you got a game that looks like that and that's a 5-6 hour experience, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll indulge in that. But just for games of today, and you telling me and you asking me to give 6 hours, like for the Resident Evil, I will not buy Resident Evil until it's at least $19. Resident Evil 8, I'm not paying for that experience and then being done with it and then putting it down. No, that's just not me as a gamer anymore.
Get the Game of the Year edition that has like any DLC that they come out with.
They come with the DLC, all that. Yeah, like
puts
then,
all the meat on the bone right there, bro.
Right, and it's $30. I'll cop it. But yeah, I can't just do the just 8 hour experience where it's just done and then and that's it. I feel cheated. I feel cheated at that point. I don't know when that actually changed for me. I think The Witcher did it because I used to not really care.
The Witcher spoiled you. Being the type of gamer you are, Witcher 3 spoiled your ass, man. Like with all the side missions that had all their separate stories and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like I like those I like those open world experiences. I know that there's a lot of people that they don't have the time of the day and things like that. I totally understand that. But for me, it's like, man, this is what I live for. This is what makes gaming I could just stay and just dive in and just stay in it for just like if it was No, I ain't gonna do
Real
that.
world.
This
Like it's a real world.
well, I was gonna say a lady, but that was just gonna say,
Oh
that's
no.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's okay. But yeah, but no, that's yeah. I like that more. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it if because I'm because everybody else is looking forward to it, and when other people get excited about games, I'm excited about them. So, yeah. So hopefully the
Nice.
game will turn out to be good. I have more faith in Ubisoft than a lot of other people do. I think that Snowdrop engine is going to be spectacular because I love how that, like with the Division and things like that, the character models look so good. They move well. The environments look fantastic. So if they're going to build it from the ground up, and and then this game is probably just now getting in development, so we're probably looking towards maybe a 2025, 2026. Then I think that game is going to probably kick ass. So I
Yeah,
think, yeah, so I'll
it'll
be happy for it.
definitely come out at a point in time in the generation where you're starting to really see kind of like what these consoles are made of. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be, it won't be a cross gen title or anything like that. So they're
No,
they'll
no.
put everything into making it look best on the hardware that's available on release. So I mean, I'm excited about it, but there's a part of me that's kind of again waiting for that M Night Shyamalan twist on how they're
Oh,
gonna
they
like
are going to
try.
hit you over the head.
Yeah, there's gonna be something, man. There's gonna be
They're gonna hit you
something.
over the head for a microtransaction or 2 or 3 or 4. That you're not gonna escape Ubisoft from that. Like, I
Yo,
mean,
they are thirsty,
so
bro. They are thirsty. Yo.
they want that dime. But yeah, no, I think, but like I said, I trust Ubisoft when it comes to making good looking quality games. Because I mean, look, if you ask Dark, because I haven't played Valhalla yet, but the story or the impact of the characters aren't good to you, but the gameplay and everything is still solid, right?
Yeah, from what I played, like I enjoyed like I played a bit
It's
of
only played
like
like 15 minutes.
I played a
15 minutes of it.
no, I played a few hours of
Mhm.
Odyssey, and
Yeah,
the
no.
gameplay, the gameplay felt good, man. It's just like again, I miss that old school. I miss that Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, uh, the feel. You know what I'm saying? When I take my mind out of quote unquote assassin when it comes to those games, then yeah, they're
Mhm.
quality kind of like action games and stuff like that. I'm not trying to downplay the quality, but I liked it when it was more honed in on what the title of the franchise is. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
they ended up they went because they wanted a bigger demographic. They wanted a wider audience. So they're like, you know what? You choose. If you want to go in stealth, go ahead. But there was certain things that like the missions were specifically made to go in there and get out without anybody noticing. Like that is the assassin. You know what I'm saying? And they veered away from that more. And it's just it's a me thing. It's a me thing. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
the games aren't quality. I
Yeah.
feel like it doesn't have the heart of the assassin anymore.
That's
And
understandable, dude. But I think Valhalla had really great gameplay, but it was
Okay,
just
that's what I
it
was
it,
asking. Okay, good.
it was just that the story I don't know, dude. It just I didn't like the story, to be honest. Like the
Mm,
story of
mhm.
Valhalla just didn't grab me like Odyssey or Origins. Like Origins story was fucking great, dude.
Shit was amazing, bro.
Origins was awesome, dude. Like,
It
yeah,
made me go
was it
back and
not?
play.
Did
Yeah.
it did it not feel? Did it feel less of an Assassin's Creed? Yeah, it did. There was moments where I was like, yeah, this could have been better if this was more,
well, that's supposed to be the
stealthier in
story of the
certain
first
sections.
assassin,
But
right?
right,
Mhm,
right,
yeah.
exactly.
So that
But
I can kind of see where they
right,
can
where
widen
it
that
wouldn't be
demographic a little
two
bit.
assassin. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it definitely like Odyssey. Odyssey was really good,
Mhm.
gameplay and story wise. And then Valhalla comes out. Gameplay was great, awesome, so much fun. And then story just felt just fell flat
So
at
they
the
got
end.
the gameplay. They got the gameplay down. They're good
Yeah.
at doing the gameplay. It's just whether or not they're gonna nail kind of like the heart of Splinter Cell. I think that's probably
Right.
the question right now. And then again, the twist, you got to see what they're going to do to make more money than just like, selling the game. Because, today's day and age, thanks to like Fortnite and kind of like a free to play model in a lot of cases, just selling the game isn't enough anymore, when it comes down to it. The
Yeah.
budgets have ballooned in terms of development and all that good stuff. And, developers and publishers, like they're trying to find ways to get more income, to be able to pay for their next project while still making revenue as a living. And I think that's something that a lot of gamers forget when they're like, "Oh, microtransactions! I can't believe they're putting microtransactions in there." And I'm like, well, as long as it's just the aesthetics, they are trying to make a living here as well.
But it's also people don't understand the fact that you have to, you got to factor in the cost of these games, what they cost to make, and the fact that it's that people just don't buy these games right away. A lot of these people don't buy them day one, like us in the community, yeah, in the gaming community, yeah, we buy a ton of games day one. There's a lot of people who buy games day one in the gaming community, but as gamers as a whole, because we're a small part of the entire gaming, space, we are. Believe it or not, we are a very small part of that. Majority of people don't buy these games day one. They wait until they're done with their backlog or whatever, and then they buy the game. When it's like, like how K Mega said, you wait for Resident Evil Village until it's like $20. A lot of people will just wait until it's $20, and at that point,
or
you're not
after
making any money.
or after a couple weeks, for people who still like shop at GameStop who want like physical games and stuff like that, you get
Why do you think?
after 2 weeks from release, like a lot of people are buying it,
Yeah.
pre-owned. They have 7 days to bring it back. It's at least $5
Yeah.
cheaper. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And the developer
Well,
and publisher, they get none of that money.
exactly, and it's not only that too. You wonder why they're putting games on PC. Like people are always like, I don't want to put games on PC. Well, they got to make their money somewhere. People aren't buying these games. People aren't buying these games. Believe it or not, I mean, yeah, God of War sold really great, for PlayStation and stuff, by PlayStation standards probably, but they could have made so much more money if they put that game on PC. And when they do put that game on PC, guess what? That game's gonna sell like a lot, a lot of copies. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's just,
with the people who kind of like who pirate the games or whatever. That's a part of the PC gaming community. That doesn't mean that the other side of it, like people aren't buying that game. Why do you think Steam's so
and it's not a
popular?
big part
People
either.
buy
It's
games
it's a
on
small part.
Steam. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's a small part of the community that buy that download games like that, because most PC gamers know that those games, are gonna have some sort of, thing that's gonna block them from either completing the game, or there's gonna be like because developers have come up with ways to make those games, either tougher or not allow you to finish the game if you didn't buy it.
oh, I did not know that, man. But
You didn't know that? Yeah,
no,
dude.
no. But
They did
check
that with
this.
The Witcher 3. They put in a character where it would just beat the shit out of you, and you couldn't even go anywhere.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
just
It's
because you downloaded
it's
it
Randy
without
Reckham.
buying it.
Randy Reckham is
Yeah.
gonna join. You're gonna run into him, and you're not gonna be able to get anywhere else in the game. But guys, we got basically one more big topic, and I do want to touch on that. You know what I'm saying? At least we might get out of here at 10 o'clock, people. And that is Project Spartacus. Now, like for people who
Mm.
don't know, it's been a while since we had like a traditional kind of like next podcast. We had the Game Awards, stuff like that. So it's been a couple weeks. But the rumor came out that PlayStation, check this out. PlayStation is putting together PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus. They're supposed to announce this in 2022. I believe the rumor is early 2022. A 3-tier system in terms of monthly payments. Now, with this, they're putting PS Plus, PlayStation Now together. They're not just doing that as is, though. They're talking about bolstering the PlayStation Now lineup, newer games getting in there quicker. I didn't say day and date, but newer games getting in there quicker. Uh, Game demos being available for people in the higher tier, I believe tier 3 or whatnot. So be able to get more kind of like game demos to try out newer games that are coming out. And when this came out, of course, me and K Mega have been talking about this for quite a while. That PlayStation, they're revamping PlayStation Now to compete with Game Pass. But since there was no talk about day and date when it came to exclusives, people are out there, they're like, well, no, they're not. They're not trying to compete with Game Pass. That's not why they're doing this. They're just bundling their two services together and offering that to people. That's what they're doing. They're not competing with Game Pass. And I'm like, I basically, I face palmed. I shook my head. I did all the things that you would hear on social media when it comes down. I was basically, I shouldn't have been surprised. But it was like, man, come on. Like, how much of the writing on the wall do you have to see before you're like, all right, yeah, that's exactly what they are doing. But I'm gonna go to K Mega on this one. Yo, Mega, what do you think about it? It's still a rumor, but it's something we have been talking about for a while. It's something I feel like they need to do moving forward. You see kind of like all the hype that's going on with Game Pass. Of course, the day and date thing is a big thing when it comes to Game Pass. So, what do you think about this rumor? What do you think about the three-tier system where the more you pay per month, the more stuff you get? And I got to ask you, man, is this to compete with Game Pass, bro?
Yes, because at the end of the day, what it's about is to have people in PlayStation's ecosystem. So it's like Game Pass entices people to come over and be in Xbox's ecosystem, regardless if they're doing it on PC or if they go ahead and they buy an Xbox Series S, if they have still an Xbox One, or if they buy a Series X. That still is within Xbox ecosystem into everything that Xbox does. PlayStation wants that. That's the whole reason why PlayStation made that change to get PSN, because they seen how much money Xbox Live was making. So that's when they made the change. Like, listening to that documentary, because I watched all 6 episodes. I think it was 6. It was the 6.
So did I, man. There was some stuff that I did not know happened.
Man,
bro.
like I mean,
when
we used to
Don't ruin it for me, goddammit.
Yeah,
oh no, you're one of those people, dude. It's fucking free.
I'm not gonna ruin it, but I
you know how I am. You know how I am. I love documentaries, so I don't want to be spoiled.
Then why didn't you watch it already, man?
Dude,
I totally forgot it was out. Honestly, I totally forgot it was out until I saw it on online today, and I was like, oh fuck, I gotta watch that shit.
Yeah, like one thing that I would say, which we've said, but we said this, and we used to get ripped for it, was saying that like Xbox was the innovators of a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, that documentary kind of made it like there's a lot more than Xbox innovated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like what? So so like PlayStation seeing this, and they're like, man, how they making money off of this? What? And so they're doing it. So this is the same thing. And eventually, it's going to get to the point, because it goes back to where people were saying that, look, PlayStation wouldn't put their games on PlayStation Now, their newer games. Why? Why would they? PlayStation would put their games on PC. Why would they? They don't need that. They're the market leader. Everything that these people have been saying all last gen, and even to right now, they have been all wrong. All wrong. The only thing that they can still try to hold their hat to is that Xbox doesn't sell nowhere near as much as Nintendo or PlayStation in Japan. Everything else of what they're talking about is completely asinine. It doesn't matter. They're in third place, and you don't see the PlayStation fans talking about that, right? Like when it comes to those sales, and that's so like it is what it is. So that's what's the whole. Oh, at this point, now let's not talk about sales until there's enough PlayStation 5s out there to hit the market, and then when they get back in the first place, we told you it's so stupid. So what I've said, and I'm still saying it, and I will continue to keep saying it, what is this generation's biggest factor is services and features. And services is going to be the biggest factor on top of this. Like games are important. There's no doubt about it. But in order for you to have a service, you're going to need the games. But the service is what's going to attract those gamers. And PlayStation's had their foot in their mouth or foot up their ass by not including a package for PSN and PlayStation Now for a long time. Like, I mean, that's just like, listen, to nickel and dime your fan base, instead of sitting here putting a package together, which I would have supported because I don't have a problem with PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now is a hell of a lot better than what it was when it first was implemented. It's just like, you know what, you shooting yourself in the foot by not giving your customers some kind of value for them to want to stay. You're over here charging people for $70. You got a fan base that
$10 for upgrades as well.
Right, for $10 for upgrades, but it's okay because these are quality games. Listen, if you think that PlayStation All Stars is a quality game, by all means, have at it. But the point of the matter is that you're still paying extra while the competition is paying less, and they have a service that has tons of third-party, second-party, first-party games, and then they have the best Xbox year. I mean, they have the best year in probably damn near since the 360 generation. And so now you're looking and seeing, well, okay, this is just getting started.
Damn,
well,
that's true. I didn't even think about that. Best year since the 360.
I feel differently about that point, though. I feel like eventually every game company's. I think the only one who's going to hold out the longest is going to be Xbox.
What?
No, it'll be Xbox.
Xbox
will hold out the longest.
To the $70 price.
To the $70 price.
Yeah,
I think every company's going to go that way.
Oh yeah, every company is going to go that route. I think probably by the time that we get to the Xbox only, I mean to the Series X and only games, I think that's when they're going to get to a point to say, look, this is the option that we have, but you have Game Pass to fall back on. And, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like these games are too much for you, that's the winning ticket for gamers, because gamers are going to be like, well, you know what? I was considering getting this game. And still, if you got Game Pass, you can play that game that you want the most, or you can wait, and then there's going to be a sale, which is also, you're probably going to get a 10% sale, which is going to probably be $60 instead of $70 if you got Game Pass. So there's a way to that Xbox can get around it. But I do agree with you that they will definitely have to go this way because the industry is going this way.
Yeah.
But go ahead, what you were going to say. Oh, okay. I'll finish. But
Give me a second.
No, it's because I feel like
Invader.
It's I understand where you're coming from, but the fact that the whole thing with PlayStation charging you $10 more for the upgrade is because of the fact that it's not the PS4 version of the game. It's the extra $10 for to make up for the $70 that they would have charged for a.
Well, they back themselves into a corner when it comes to that. Granted, I know what you're saying about the industry.
Not really, dude.
Forward.
Not really, dude. Because honestly, they didn't really because they have features there that they're implementing into those games, and then they're also adding more, better resolution, better frame rates, things like that. That I feel kind of warrant. That extra $10. I mean, dude, is it a blow to some people? Probably, yeah, but I don't think it's.
Well, I can hear what you're saying about them doing more, so they're charging more. But when you look in the gaming industry space right now. They are the only platform that are making you pay for upgrades. When you look at it,
Right.
the competition is not doing that. All right, the
Mm-mm.
competition says, "Oh, you want to play that game? Here, you can play it on the newer hardware, and you're going to
Yeah,
get all these extra
that's
bells and
understandable.
whistles." So
No,
you gotta see
it is
what's going on in
understandable.
the industry, because
Yeah.
right now they are sticking out like a sore thumb every time they announce, hey, we're this game, we're bringing it to PlayStation 5 as well. And if you have it on PS4, all you got to do is pay $10 extra to play on it, to play that game. When the competition's like, oh, you had this game on Xbox One, well, we upgraded it here, here, and here, and you'll be able to download the upgrade as soon as it releases. Like,
Yeah.
they're sticking out like a
Yeah,
sore thumb right
Well,
now, bro.
and
they
even
are,
with
they are,
go ahead.
but it's the fact that it's to me, I I I look at it this way, like if you only play on PlayStation, $10 is just it's not gonna bother
No,
you.
that's a lie.
But
That's a lie. That's a lie.
but
No, I know plenty of PlayStation only friends from school that you know what I'm saying, on Facebook, and they're like, "Hey man, does Xbox have games for $70?" I said, "Nope." I said, except for Call of Duty and like Battlefield and
NBA.
stuff like that. Yeah, the NBA 2K. I said,
Yeah.
other than that, like he said, you telling me that the Gears of War? I said, no. He's like, well, what? What's PlayStation doing? And I don't. And I'm not here to sit there and try to deter. I'm not like some of these slime balls out here that try to say, well, this is why Xbox is the better place to play. I just sit there and I say, look, man, they're a bigger company. Sony's going another direction. And they are pissed about it. They're like, no, man, I'll just wait for a sale. That's exactly
I mean
what they say. And,
that's understandable. I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
get that. That is understandable, but I think,
Mhm.
for the ones who are like me, who are just like, I'll just pay the $10. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like I feel like it doesn't bother them, like at that point. But I do understand like where people are coming from. Like the competition isn't
Mhm.
doing that, and it does feel kind of shady. But when you look into it a little bit more with like certain things like they what they've added to the game, like I mean it's not like a ton of stuff. I mean, if it was a ton of stuff, then I think it would be more money. It would probably be like $20, to upgrade. But people just got to remember that the gaming is expensive. It's an expensive
Yes.
hobby. It's not cheap.
Yeah, it's
It can
expensive.
be.
It's
It can be.
expensive. All right, it's expensive.
It can be.
So
But
if there's any places where you can get a deal, like you're gonna try to get that deal
yeah,
in the
you're gonna do
places where
that.
you
You're
can
gonna do
get
that.
them. You know what I'm saying? Now let
Yeah.
me pose this a
Yeah.
different way for you guys, and both of you guys answer this, right? Because when it comes to day and date, nothing was said about day and date when it comes to Project Spartacus. I'm gonna ask you guys.
Mhm.
Clearly, they are trying to compete with Game Pass. Clearly, in terms of the service side of the gaming industry, Xbox is clearly leading the way here with what they're doing and what they are offering. Does Sony need to offer their exclusive games in their Project Spartacus day and date to truly compete with Game Pass and Xbox and what they are offering?
Yes.
I feel
Yes.
differently on that. I'm kind of indifferent on that, where I don't really know where they're gonna go, and it doesn't really matter to me, to be honest, because I don't really care about what about that type of thing for PlayStation. Honestly, I've always liked PlayStation for it being different from Xbox when it came to, you know, exclusives and things like that. Um, I've never really will I get the service if those games go day and date? Possibly. I mean, it just depends on how I feel. I mean, I'm one of those type of people that, you know, if I wanna, if I wanna play that game I'll play it, and I don't know if I really gravitate towards the service as much as I do with Game Pass,
Mm.
um, because I feel
Well,
like I don't know, I still like owning my games, man. Like that's the thing. Like I still like owning,
You still can. You
even
can
though
still buy
even
your
even,
games.
even though even yeah, I know I can still buy games, but I mean, even though I don't feel like uh the what is it? It's just like, so I have to buy the game, and then on top of that I have to pay for the service. Like I don't see like the point in paying for two things, like
hey,
at the
Dark,
same time. Like
Dark.
it just it yeah.
No,
Yeah.
well, check this out. Check this out. If you look into Sony's history, Sony the corporation, at one
Mhm.
point in time, they were at the top of the mountain. They were at the peak when it came to music. All right, when it came
Mm.
to music, they were number one. They had the players, and of course, they had Sony Music, everything like that. They were on top of
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
music wise,
They were.
and the music industry started changing in terms of their content and how they were distributing songs. It started it started slowly, but MP3s were getting involved. Services when it came to listening to music, and Sony, they stuck to what they had, and said basically they thought they were bigger than the industry, and said, well, we kind of dictate what's going on. And now you see what happened to them in terms of the music industry. So, like, I feel that they do need to compete in this space, because this is where the gaming industry is going. Whether you like it or not, whether people out there like it or not, the entire world, even what Circle K has a subscription service when it comes to
Yeah.
beverages.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, like this is what's
Yeah,
Car
going on
washes
in
movies
the
too.
are
world.
doing. Yeah, movies, car washes. Yeah, it's the way it
Movies
works.
haven't really advertised it as much. Like movies are
Shh.
going more
The movie
towards.
theater, the Warren, right down the street from me. The it's Regal Cinema. I get stuff
Oh,
all
okay.
the
So it's, yeah,
yeah,
it's a little different in
and
certain
that's why we're
states.
going to go see Spider-Man in the
Yeah,
morning. Yeah, we're going to see. Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. Let's go ahead.
Um,
Do that.
but I mean, I think I'm looking at it more as like the whole those movies going straight to streaming. Like
Mhm.
eventually, like next year, that's not going to happen. Those movies aren't going to go straight to streaming. It's going to be like 30 to 45
I
days
am liking the fact
before
that these
those
movies are going straight to going quick
That's
to
going
how I'm
straight
going to
to
be
streaming.
watching
I
them in
love
the
it.
yeah,
Matrix.
Oh
because
yeah, dude,
I
I
seen
love it.
James. I said, oh,
Yeah.
James. I'm finna cop that. Matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm finna get that James Bond.
Yeah, because James Bond's
Yeah,
really good, man. That new one's good.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I like that they're doing that, and I understand, where people are coming from. When they're like, well, I want to see it in theaters. Well, you still be able to see it in theaters, but in 30 to 45 days, you'll be able to stream it if you want to watch it again, or you'll be able to buy it or whatever. It just means that we're getting things a lot quicker than we used to in the past, and I understand where you guys are coming from, where Sony does need to compete with Game Pass, because of the fact that Game Pass has proven itself. It has, believe it or not, it has proven itself. I just don't know how Sony's gonna work that works with
Work that
that.
model in.
Right. I don't know how they're gonna work that model in, which doesn't, because we got to remember that Sony has always been more of a manufacturer of technology, and not really a software company, you
Right.
know.
No, you're right.
And Microsoft was always a software company before anything else. They've always been a software company, and so I think that's why Game Pass is so good, is because of the fact that they knew how to put that type of model out there, because they know the service industry.
Mhm.
um so it's just it is a little concerning how PlayStation is going to play with that, um because you know uh, are those, are gamers going to really gravitate towards it? you know are
Well,
people go
This is the thing over here, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, because this is where we differ. I agree with some of the things that you're saying, but this is the thing of it overall. Right now, we have an inflation, which, of course, there's people that has, how deep I get into politics and things like that.
Are you talking
People
about
get a lot
Biden's
of
inflation?
misinformation.
You talking about Biden's
You
inflation?
should. Oh my God! Stop it. But anyway, but the point
I
of
do
it
that.
is
I
we
do
live
that
in
just to
inflation.
say it to you, K Mega. Like,
Yeah, because you know that I know what's really going on. But still, the point of the matter is that's how the public perceives it. Like, hell, I as the president, my gas is high, shit's high, things is going on. What the hell? Like, you the president, you said you was going to fix this, build back better, motherfucker, get this shit right. So the thing of it is that we have to have. We have to. We looking at how this situation was. It goes back to when we were talking about it in 2020, when the lockdown was happening, and gamers were playing games more than they ever have probably in the history, because there was a lot of people that was at home. And then what did Sony do? Well, we're going to hit you over the head and charge you $70. While then the other companies, see, that's the thing. And then like it's that time to where you want to strike to get more money, to get more revenue, is going to bite you in the ass eventually. Yeah, it's at the wrong time.
It was definitely at a wrong time for them to do that. Yeah.
And there's people that still are that just don't have the bread like they did beforehand, because of the fact that they're still trying to they're maybe just now starting to get a job, or they're just trying to do things to get themselves together. They might have once they got a stimulus check or whatever, that one of the 2-3 stimulus checks that they got, they probably had to take care of business, or they bought a car, or they did some other things, right? Like, they're just trying to get things in order. And the first thing that you do is come back and you say, well, man, we're going to hit you over the head for $10 for an upgrade. Well, I mean, I sit there and I took the time out of my day, or gave show my loyalty to you, PlayStation, to you, Sony, by paying $500 for this console, and you're still trying to tell me that you want more from me when I've already showed you my loyalty. When the console that I don't really care about as much as I do the PlayStation, they're over here giving them the world right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the only thing that Sony can come back with is, well, you want to buy your games. You want to own them. You don't want to do a service, do you? Well, for the hardcore, that's the few 100,000 or million or whatever that's on the social media, the few million that's on the social media that's saying this, that, oh yeah, you must buy your games in order to be a true gamer. There's billions of people out there saying, hell with that. Show me what this is doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So PlayStation has no choice in the matter. Xbox has already set the seed. It's not going to go well for them if they keep on trying to implement this stuff. And the reason why I say that, and why it's already implanted, just look what Epic tried to do, or I should say Square Enix tried to do with the Final Fantasy going to PC and the $70 price point. What is PC gamers out there doing? They're on like, you got me bent. I'm not. Look, bro, PC is the place to where I can get bargains for my games. I spent thousands upon thousands of dollars for a rig, and you mean to tell me I'm going to have to pay as much for what the console gamers pay, and they don't even, and their consoles is not even on the same level as what my piece is what my rig is, or the fact that it's only $500 when I paid $1,000 to build my PC, or to have it made. It ain't happening. So what did Epic do? They went around and said, oh, we got to work around. We'll give you a free $10 code so you can put towards the game, so it's $60. That's how Sony is going to have to play this, because if they keep trying to come out here and say, look, we're going to hit you over the head for upgrades, we're going to hit you here for $70, the gaming community is going to get tired of it. Because listen, yes, there are 8 strong exclusive titles for PlayStation. What is there after that, though? Think about that. What you got, those 8 strong titles. And really, when you out of those 8, there's 3. There's God of War, there's Horizon Zero Dawn, and Spider-Man. The rest of them are, you know what I'm saying? They're not on the level of those 3. So really, technically, you got 3 games that people will go ahead, or I should say 5, because people will pay $70 for The Last of Us, or people will pay $70 for Ghost of Tsushima. Those are 5.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And that's it. But you think somebody's going to pay $70 for a new Days Gone? Sony seen that and said,
or
no,
a
man.
or Forspoken. Yeah.
Or Forspoken, or for or something else. Like, no, they're not. Like,
Yeah, especially if it's a new IP. I understand where
yeah.
that one,
Yeah. So like, yeah, because people aren't familiar with that. And that to me is a little bit is the problem that Sony has, which they're going to have to adjust and make the move, man. They just have to do it. So they've already been the knee in certain regards. So go ahead and just let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Stop spoon feeding your fan base and just do what you know that needs to be done, so you can keep your fan base and even grow more, because there will be Xbox gamers and Nintendo gamers and PC gamers that will jump on PlayStation's bandwagon. And once they do a service where they can do day and date, it just makes perfect sense. If they want to hold the 3 big titles or 4, because
I
when
don't know.
they
There's
add
still some
Wolverine,
people who will
over.
hold out. You know how some people.
I know, but
There's
listen,
some
man.
people who will. I mean, they are the
Holding a
minority.
disc anymore is not like what it used to be. That disc don't mean nothing when them servers go down, and also
they really don't.
And what these services do, they give these games
Halo
even
proved
longer.
that shit. Halo proved that shit. Where they couldn't even play the game, even though they had the game before everybody else. They couldn't even play the game, so they were locked out. So it's like, what was the point of even having a disc?
Having a disc,
like for me, I've been digital for years because of the fact that it's cheaper here to buy a digital game than it is to buy a physical game. It's not by much. It's like $5 or $6 less.
Yeah.
To buy a game digitally. But that's still $5 or $6 I could put in my pocket and use for lunch or whatever, Like,
right.
I'd rather do that than spend, more on the physical version. And I still get to play the game at the same time as everybody else,
Right. And the services give your games longevity. I mean, we just got to be real about that. Like, I mean, I'm looking at okay, like Jump Force, right? Like, it's not in any services right now, I don't think, except for maybe but I think it'll probably be out of PlayStation Now, if it's not already out of PlayStation Now. It's not a Game Pass. That the servers are going to shut down in the summer of 2022. So, like, I mean, right there, like, so if you had the disc, sorry. I mean, well, you can still play the game offline, but I can still play the game offline by having it digital. It's a whole different age. You know what I'm saying? If it's all about physical copies is what it's all about for you, then you better start getting and collecting these older consoles, because going back to the 360 and back, because the new era of what gaming is with now digital content ruling the day, it's not ever going to be the same. Period.
Yeah, it's definitely not, because I mean it's already been proven. People were like, I saw a lot of people upset about that whole Halo thing with them not being able to play the game. Even though they had the physical version, it's like, well, like,
were those the people
what
that
do
were
you
trying to
really
play
expect?
the ones that got them from the mom and pop stores earlier, and they were trying to play
early.
it early?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, let's just
So
ignore the fact that they were trying to get something over and trying to get in on a game before anybody else could.
Right.
And
spoil the game. Yeah.
Right, but it's also goes to show you that the game's not even on the discs anymore. That
No.
there's things that you have to do. You still have to download the game. Like, I understand that, like, physical, like, you like having something physically in your hand, but it's like, what's the point if you're not really getting the physical, because I mean, look at it this way, like, once those servers go down, like, if the servers ever go down or whatever for Halo Infinite, you're not going to be able to play that game, multiplayer wise, and well, I mean, that's kind of a bad example because Halo Infinite's multiplayer's free. But let's just say if you delete that game off of your console or whatever for, like, let's say for the Halo campaign, any of the updates that happen, like, later on down the line, like, 10, 20 years from now, that's all going to be gone. no matter what, even if you have the physical or the digital version of the game. So at this point, does it really matter if you go if you have a digital if you go digital or not? No, it doesn't. To be honest, I mean, I get that you want to be physical. I get that, and I understand that people are like, well, I don't understand why people want to go digital because you don't really own your games. It's like, well, you don't really own your games when you buy a physical anymore. So it's just that's the way it's going, man. Sorry.
Yeah, again, it's a new age. Content is being distributed in a different fashion than what we kind of grew up with. It's digital now. That's what's going on. You look at year over year, the amount of digital purchases have just been going higher and higher and higher. So basically, you have the majority of people speaking. It's like, yeah, no, we like the ease of digital, and it's becoming the normal.
The
Uh,
market dictated it. It wasn't. I mean, they introduced it, but it was the market that made it
That
possible.
gravitated
So
towards it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
because a lot of honestly, I think a lot of it had to do with people being sick and tired of being bombarded by questions at GameStop. It was a lot of that. I think it was a lot of just people just especially at the time of 2020. Like I think a lot of people like, oh, I don't have to go out to get the game. I can just download it. Oh shit, I'll just do that instead. Because I mean, you got to remember, like when we were going through the pandemic, people weren't able to go really anywhere at all. Like I mean, you go shopping, to get food and shit, but that was about it. I mean, yeah, maybe you could pick up a game here and there, but you know, if you weren't, in a good position to do that, a lot of people went digital during that time frame. So I mean, the market spoke and said, "Hey, we're going digital." And
and when it came to when it like for me, it was just easier. It was
mhm,
yeah.
easier. Like, oh, I want that game. Oh, there's the price for it, and stuff. And now with these companies doing more digital sales, not everything is like $60 all the time, because that was a big thing early on in the
mhm,
the digital era. It was something that I was even asking, like, why are these games like $60, same price as a physical
AAA games.
copy, but there was no
Or yeah,
manufacturing involved or anything like that. They're basically just shipping you a code over the
yeah,
internet to download the game. It didn't make any sense to me, but now we're having so many sales. There's price variations. The smaller the
mhm,
game, kind of like the cheaper the price and whatnot. And the market is regulating itself. It's not just $60 all the time. And we're getting kind of like the deals that we would get for physical purchases, but we're getting them in the digital era, which is the digital space, which will has the sales and everything now as well. So I mean,
I get what Dennis Haas is saying with the whole physical thing. Um, that's understandable. I mean, I understand that a lot of people do that. Still, but I just,
that's
but that's the
losing
thing. Like,
that whole
but
thing,
that,
like trading in your
but
games
that's
and stuff like that, is
yeah,
losing steam as well.
it is. It is
You
quite a bit.
know,
Yeah. There's somebody in the chat that was saying, well, with physical, I've seen two things which I want to say. He said, with physical, I can give the game and trade it with my friend.
Yeah,
And look toward it. Listen, that again, the market.
that's what we were just
And,
talking about. K Mega, what the
oh,
fuck? I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
oh,
I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing, bro.
Let King Mega be
She
country, bro.
telling me she was going to bed, and so
I know. I gotta let him be country. My bad. My
let
bad.
me
I
let
gotta
me
let him be
let me
country.
let me hug my wife. Let me give her a kiss goodnight. Jesus Christ! Like, damn, you have to be my game all the time. Anyway, so so that's what you said. I'm sorry. So okay, but then there was another person that said you said games used to be games had to be finished with physical. Did they really? Because there's a lot of physical games that were broken
Especially
that
now
didn't have
that
pat.
games
Now
can. Yeah.
games are way more broken than they've ever been. That part is
Mhm.
true. But to act like you never had a broken game back in the days when you bought a physical copy and that game never lost. You never had a patch to where the glitch got fixed or anything like that. That was, you're going back into the old era where, just the game was just, if it came out, yeah, you had a beginning and an end. But if that bitch was broken, it was broken, and there was nothing that could be done about it. You couldn't even sometimes take if the game had too many returns. If you didn't take that game back to get it returned quick enough, then you was just stuck with that title. And games back then could have been anywhere from $40 to $120, according to what kind of game that you picked up back then.
Yeah, yo.
And the thing is that oh, go ahead, man. Sorry.
Now, I want to shout out RG Viper, who is a member of this channel now for 2 months, and he's asking, "Did y'all miss me?" And dude, that was one of the things I was thinking throughout this show, and kind of like for the past couple weeks or so. I'm like, where is Viper? You would chime in certain instances and whatnot, but it's good to see you here, bro. Unfortunately, you were saying, you're here and we can start. Brother, I don't know what's going on with the clock on your phone. It's supposed to be hooked up to the internet and give you the right time, but we're getting to the point where we are winding down now. But
my last point with this whole thing is that I understand that people there will always be somebody who wants to go, but you got to look at music CDs. Look at where films are going. You go to Best Buy now, there's no CD rack. You go to any store that sells, physical things. There's no CDs. There's no CDs at all. I mean, maybe in some states, maybe in some areas there might be. There are music stores out there, but they're not.
FYE, for your entertainment, it still has discs. Still has
yeah, that's
discs.
true. They do. But that's the thing. Like, I mean, I don't think physical will ever like completely go away, but it'll be minuscule so much that it's gonna
go out like the record.
It's gonna be hard to find. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so hard to find that people it's gonna be more expensive. That's the problem.
Because remember, people thought that the 8-track was going to stay forever too.
Sure. Yeah.
And that gave way to the.
It does make me sad that when I see I go to the movie section in Best Buy and it's just peanuts. I'm just like, oh man, because I mean, physically, like 4K is way better on a disc than it is on streaming or whatever. I mean, it's getting there. It's close. It's close. It really is. There are
Doc,
certain things that
your connection
can't
is that
really
California
tell. But...
two hamsters on a running wheel connection, man.
It looks great, dude. I'm telling you, like it's not bad. Like have you guys heard me bot in a long time? No, you haven't, motherfuckers. Shut up.
That is true, dude. Until you brought that is true. We have a normal dark now.
So that's because we got better internet. But yeah, I mean the streaming,
back better.
It's good. It's good, but you can tell. I can tell the differences between the streaming version of the movie and the physical copy of the disc movie. So it does make me sad that it's going away. But honestly, I'm kind of glad because I don't have very much room for that stuff. So
I
need to make room for other things.
Unfortunately, I have a hard drive, and it's an old hard drive, and it clunked out on me. But I have 5,000 albums on it, and a little bit over 5,000 albums because I haven't bought music in a while because I'm depressed because I still haven't gotten. It would have cost me close probably to like $700 to get that hard drive fixed. But I'll probably get once I get that fixed, I'll be happy again, and I'll be back on my music.
Yeah, once you get that fixed, I'd buy a new hard drive and switch this shit over to a newer one.
No, I got another hard drive just ready for it to go over, to get transferred over once it get fixed. I think what Geek Squad does is that they put it into a new hard drive. They'll fix your old one, and then they'll also put it into another one. But I also have a backup ready to go. I'm never going to be without my music like that ever again. So, but again, I totally get that, but just think about it. Like I had a friend named Ellen, and she was a music she wasn't a producer, but she was a person that would talk with other people. I forgot what that label was, where she would set up concerts and events and
Oh, she was an event. Gosh,
Event
what was it?
coordinator or
coordinator?
something like that.
Yeah,
And
event coordinator. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. I forgot. She told me what the title was, but anyway, so
There's a special title for it. Yeah.
yeah, this is special time. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I remember when I first went to her house and we was hanging out and stuff, and she had all different types of music. And I remember going into when I walked into her house, she had a shelf of nothing but CDs. Now that is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life, especially me being a music lover. And she had damn near any and everything that I could possibly want to listen to. But think about all that space that it took up, because it took the whole front room wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, golly, but you know what I'm saying? So, like, if I got over 5,000 albums. Like, hold on, where am I going to put all those 5,000 albums? Yeah, that's it, promoter. That's exactly what it was. And so she and so like just thinking about that, like having all of that condensed into just this little ass drive. That's just the future. It's just more. It's more reasonable. And again, you have to think about too. Like the one thing that was the most frustrating is when you went to a midnight launch. You go and you get the game, and then you get ready to go. You're like, oh shit, man. I mean, I gotta go ahead. I gotta just at least play about an hour of it. Then when you get the game, you put it in, and you have to wait for it to download. And then by the time that you get ready to try to play the game, it's already probably about 1 o'clock, 1:30, and you know that your ass got to go to bed. And so you didn't have a chance to do that. Now, games will pop up available if you get them digitally at like 10 p.m., whatever your time is, or at the max 12 o'clock when it's supposed to. So it is so much more convenient.
It's 9 o'clock here.
Yeah. And then sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 11. There's sometimes it's been 1 a.m. in the morning. So I'm like, okay, well, I got some time to jump in and play at least, 30 minutes or so of the game. But if you go back to looking at the old ways of how we used to do it, man, we always used to come up short, because there would be people that I would go to work and I'm like, man, I was trying to play the game. He's like, I know. And we were like, man, but we had to be at work at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. And we already tired as hell and cranky because we were happy to stand in line and get the game that we wanted, but then we didn't get a chance to play it. So the public has made these decisions. And even though they've been introduced to us, this is just what the public wants. And people can't be mad about these microtransactions and shit like that, because the public has been all about microtransactions and every damn thing else since going back to the PlayStation 3 and the 360. So I don't even want to hear any more excuses about microtransactions no more, to be personal.
Shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up the super chat. He says, I missed the other Dark super chat, so I am looking back real quick to see exactly what he's talking about here. Viewer activity. Dude, it doesn't show. I'm looking.
It says, you just can't adjust your vehicle.
Oh yeah, Dark. Good. Yo, shout out to you, Sir X-Man. Man, my bad. But when it came to the vehicles, in Halo Dark, he said you can adjust your vehicle sensitivity. I'm gonna have to go in and try that and test that out, because I feel like the Warthog and the Mongoose are really light. You know what I'm saying?
And he also said Dark's PS5 turned his electricity off from neglect.
Damn.
You know what's funny? I don't make fun of you guys about liking X. You guys like making fun of me about playing on PlayStation, man.
I'm finna give me a big ass PlayStation tank here, PlayStation 5
a
tank.
PlayStation coffee table that plays games, man. It's weird.
That thing is huge, though, man. I'm
gonna lay that big ass on his belly and then let it flop around like a manatee, and then we're gonna let the 360 and the PlayStation 5 duel. You know what I'm saying? One shall stand, one shall fall. PlayStation probably will dominate it, but.
Honestly, I think people are just jealous that I have the digital version, which is the unicorn.
That's the unicorn. That's the unicorn, brother.
I want the unicorn.
But yo, guys, on that note, we're getting close to 10:30. I think it's about that time. Yo, shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely incredible. Yo, if you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button. Share the show out. We are getting close to a new year, and with a new year is a brand new season, and with a brand new season is a brand new mascot. So you want to be subscribed to this channel, so this way when I put out the voting right here on YouTube for the new mascot for next podcast, and
I thought you were gonna say after that. I thought after you said mascot, I thought you were gonna say, and there's always an X-bot.
Oh,
no,
I was gonna be like, oh,
but check this
man.
out. K Mega requested that Locke actually be in the running.
Madness, Hoodie Lock without, because now since we know Spartan Lock, aka the king of Halo now, is still alive.
Sir, what part did he play in the most recent story? Because I believe
if it wasn't for Lock, Chief wouldn't even be out there fighting.
Oh my goodness! So
dude,
Arbiter.
Okay,
I'm not,
if
you know what?
Locke doesn't die, if Locke doesn't die in one of the DLCs in this fucking game, I'm gonna fucking go over to 343 and fucking gripe. I'm gonna fucking gripe to them and everything. I'm gonna walk into the store. I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna be like, please, for the love of God, kill Locke off.
We just now realized,
because when I sit there and I talk to Kiki at E3, I told her, I said, please tell me you saved Locke. I say, let me hear it. And she said, #save Locke. I said, yes. I said, you can't kill him. You can't kill him.
Guys, you guys heard it here. My brother King
and he's
Mega
still alive.
Is a he's a Spartan 117 hater. That's what's going on right here.
I love 117.
That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. Like,
but he's like your old uncle.
John.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been hanging out with him for so long.
But yo, let's be real here. John is gonna be here for a long time. But guys,
Locke is like that cool cousin. You know, he's like Mike Lowry.
Well, why can't both live? Okay, Mega.
Yeah.
Why does John 117 have to die?
Yeah.
He don't have to die.
You don't have to die.
You said it before. You said it before that John has to die.
He needs to. He don't have to die. He just needs to retire. Like, I mean, he got a 10-year stint. He needs to go ahead and put the helmet down.
Yo, Phil, that would be an insane
needs to get a good spanking.
Brother.
That's what he
That
needs.
would be an insane super chat. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up the super chat. He says, "Save Team Locke." He's saved. He's alive.
I love that.
He's alive. He is a really good supporting character to the main character in Halo that is the Master Chief, bro.
You know.
Why wasn't he in Halo Infinite? He was talked about, but he's not in there. So
nobody else was in Halo Infinite though. There was no Arbiter.
Guys, RG Viper. There was nobody. RG Viper hitting up the super chat. He said, "Master Chief dies, Locke lives." Let's go. That's not what happens. But guys, we got to get into the outro.
Evolution to begin.
Like a 40-year-old with a comb over. It is time to get those plugs in. So, K Mega, what do you got for us, brother?
Man, tomorrow is the last GRG of 2021. So hopefully, I have some special guests coming on. We're just going to have a good time. We'll talk about a few topics, but we're just going to get down with it. Just have a good, just damn time. Man, I hope you guys will come and check us out. 8 p.m. Central, the Lord's time, 9 p.m. Eastern, I don't know, man. 6 p.m. Pacific, which is a good time. I like it out there in LA. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they'll calm, collect.
We don't like you out here, but
he's only hating on the East Coast right now. That's what he's doing, man.
I'm on the East Coast. I just don't know about you people out there. Y'all pretty cranky and
we got New York City, we got Miami, we got Boston, we got
We've been on this podcast long enough to know that you and Crispy are very angry. Okay,
very angry. Very angry. I don't understand why y'all so angry out there at the East Coast.
Me
You
But
need
yeah,
to be
dude,
more like
sure.
us in LA, sipping our lattes with a pinky
I
fingertips.
say more like out here in the central
Sticks.
area because because it's calm, collected. You can stand outside, you can stand outside in your drawers, and let the breeze just go right through.
Yeah,
It
that
just feels
breeze is
so
usually
good
like an
because
F4
you ain't
tornado
got
going
nobody. You
straight
don't
up
have
your
people.
drawers, man.
You don't have people on top of you on looking at you and drones everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because if you see a drone, you can shoot that son of a bitch down out here. Like that's the problem. That's the greatness out here. It's beautiful sunset.
Well, it's because
Weather, it's just great out
it's way too flat over there in Oklahoma, dude.
here.
No
It's
fucking
like
way.
hell with all that hot shit. You touching cloud mist. I'm like, what we doing out here? Can I get like
I want to be feeling the breeze from the ocean and the
You got beautiful
mountains.
lakes, fishing,
Yeah.
dirt dogging, just
You got-
saying, partying. We're so great out here. Anyway, but check me out on the GRG podcast tomorrow night. Fight Night Sunday. We're gonna have a big one. I'm expecting. I don't know if it's gonna be this Sunday, but next Sunday, one of these Sundays, one of them, we're gonna just do nothing but PC fight night. Like it's all, and I got tons of PC fighters. So anybody who's down for that, come and join us. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, we can just get down and just have a good time doing that. I appreciate for everybody who comes to check out Fight Night Sundays, man. Especially doing it on a Sunday night and we just do it all night long. It's just so dope. So thank you, Yobi. Sir X-Man, you need to bring your old ass back on and start fighting again. I understand you get your ass whooped quite a bit, but it's still fun to have you in there and you singing some stupid songs. Other than that, yeah, just getting ready for the new year. Hope everybody has a blessed time. Going to see Spider-Man tomorrow morning with the wife. It's going to be fun. I know Bot's not. He gave me a cross eye right there. He looked at me kind of. I heard a grimace.
No, I just cleared my throat a little bit. Why? Why would I be looking at you cross-eyed, man? I'm hopefully going to see Spider-Man. I'm planning on like Monday or so because I got to work the weekend. Working 7 to 7, man. I ain't got time for the
Well, just
movies.
stay off the internet, man, because
Yeah.
you know how
also,
people are.
Lastly, I'm at level 90 on Halo for the first season. I'm excited. I'm going to get through this season before I wanted to do it before Christmas. So if you want to play some Halo, hit me up. I'm always down for that. And man, that's it.
Nice.
Maybe there'll be Devin a gamer in the future, but other than that, that's it. No more podcasting for me for the rest of the year. Well, I'll come back here next week, but then after that, don't hit me up no more until next year.
Until 2022. I'll see you next year.
I'll see you next year.
Yeah.
So.
Dark, I know you made a special appearance on Gaming Beyond the Box. Like, you got anything coming up for this next week, bro?
No, just you guys can find me on Twitter, Knoxximus. You can follow me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. You guys can always find me here on the next podcast, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Nice. And guys, when he said no, what he meant to say was he is completely tired of Enrique begging to have him on Brap so much.
Dude,
yo.
Definitely begs. No, he doesn't
yeah,
beg.
yeah, no, he gets down on his knees. Come on,
He grovels.
Dark.
He grovels and diddles my balls a little bit. I mean, what?
Oh, guys! On that note, yo, it has been a blast to do this show. It was a little more aired out, man. We were a couple people short on this episode, but hopefully they will be back next week. But again, shout out to the chat. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Again, when the show comes in for season 5 next year. I've been working on a new look for the show. So, and shout out to Blue Moon, who was commenting on the games that were being played. Man, I love to see that. I love to see people that are like watching the show as much as they are listening to it. Not that I don't appreciate people who listen to the show. Put it on. They got stuff to do, playing games, stuff like that. I definitely respect that. But to have people out there, checking out the gameplay, putting it together every week and checking out the gameplay, seeing the variation of games and stuff like that. Shout out to you, man. It has been a great night, and we will see you again next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
want to play some Halo tonight after I watch my Rachel Maddow because I got to enjoy Reed. Let's go.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.